and welcome back to Tales from Cazilor, the Golden Era, episode 8. How are we all feeling?
Good. I'm ready to get back into it.
Whimsical.
Feeling whimsical.
Extremely whimsical.
Not scared at all for what's to come. We took a week off, but if you're watching this in the future, you don't know that. You're binging this right now, and that's okay. Last episode, technically last two, Jeremiah died, big style. And then after that, after the battle at the Nunez estate, a lot of things happened. Okay, the headliners got quarantined to try and get to the bottom of this crystal that they pulled off of an enhanced giant that we met at the battle at the Nunez estate. Before that happened, RG took it upon himself to write a very touching piece about Jeremiah being a model Cazilorian, but Grandpa didn't want to publish it, called it bad press. So, RG went and published it with somebody else, the Kragora Chronicles. And least to say, this did not get received well by the Scritories. As a matter of fact, they take it that he has turned their back on them. RG and Ari had a huge fight and are effectively split, at least when it comes to the brand. We did a lot of research on the crystal. We found out a ton of stuff, but to give you the rundown, we found out that the crystal contains the soul of a blessed kid, of a gifted kid from Loneshire. We found out that the crystal uses energy from these souls as an amplifier for gifts. This is all clearly a part of Fairtala, the Grimshar's master plan. Not only did we find out that, but we also, through some amazing investigative work from RG, found out the name of Forget-Me-Not. Just the first name. Thanks to long-forgotten letters from Asher to his younger brother Splat.
Still one of my favorite strategies I've ever come up with in any D&D game ever.
And discovering that there are clues around here that there was a 14th member of Serpent Squad. We found a name not mentioned anywhere else. Corey. I believe what Asher specifically said was, Corey is super chill, even though their eyes still freak me out. We also have the name of what we assume to be somebody who attended the tryouts with Forget-Me-Not so long ago, someone by the name of Solomon Scantilla, which we will absolutely need to talk to, but first, the headliners have a meeting with the Warlord Assembly, and that's where we'll pick up. You guys head into the Warlord Assembly for your meeting. You've had 2 months to examine this crystal. The Warlord Assembly is going to have a lot of questions for you, especially pertaining, can these crystals be used for our side of the war? Otherwise, we might get completely blown out of the water. Matt, you want to take it away?
Yeah. After going into the assembly, Baina definitely has, these full documents printed out that have presumably already been distributed to the members of the assembly, which are full of all sorts of, arcane science notes and experiments and all of the research that he has done. I don't know how many people are actually going to read these, but it's definitely something that Baina would have prepared in advance just so that people have everything on hand.
Yeah.
And once everybody is assembled and ready to go, he's just going to kind of jump right in, because they don't know anything. This is the first they're hearing about.
Yeah. This is like the report. You've had 2 months off. Give us the scoop.
Yeah. Baina is just going to very politely address the assembly with the headliners in the room. Greetings, Warlord Assembly. Thank you for calling this meeting today. I know I have a reputation as a very practical man, and I hope you know that I'm not one to sensationalize. Therefore, I hope it's taken seriously when I say that the crystal in our possession may very well be the most dangerous weapon that I have seen in the entirety of my service to the Masmus. I assume that gets some pretty heavy reactions.
Yeah, you see a lot of raised eyebrows and maybe some murmuring, but you have their full attention.
Yep, that was the goal. Baina Bana has like a board that he has brought in that has like drawings, like very detailed schematics of everything. And there's a big one of the crystal in the center. And he gestures to it, goes, "This crystal, as you've surely heard in battle reports, seems to have the ability to amplify gifts through a previously unknown method. Discovering the nature of this method was my primary goal over the last few months, and I do believe that for better or for worse, I have discovered it. Now, crystalline pseudo-consciousness is nothing new to the artificing work we've seen in Cazilor. You can see by my snake companion here that it's something I myself have mastered for a while. However, it seems that, as unbelievable as this is, the Atrarian military has found a way to contain souls themselves within these crystals, separating them entirely from the natural order of the wild and everything outside, weaponizing the blessings and gifts bound to them to enhance their own perverse ideals of war. I have dubbed this art, if you can call such a dark thing art, necrodia, from some ancient arcane words that I have found. This art is mysterious, even to me, even after 2 months of work, but as I said at the beginning, its threat level cannot be understated. Bana's then going to continue for a while on just the general sort of mechanics of this, which I won't go into as a player, because I don't. Well, some people in the audience would probably want me to do a magical science lecture. I'm going to spare the rest of you, though. After going through everything that he has learned, then going to. Unfortunately, again, this is all that I have been able to discover so far. For those of you who are not familiar with the mechanics of enchanting, they're very locational in nature. Obviously, the crystals that we use as the foundation are only found in very limited supply, and the natural ingredients used to make specific enchantments are also found in different biomes and such. Ultimately, what I'm getting at is to understand the full nature of this, to understand the way that this craft is created. I believe that I'm going to have to do, let's call it, field work. We have determined through research that the enchantments of this nature seem to come from the region near the Atrarian city of Avalarium. And I believe it would be in our best interest to understand this crystal and possibly see if it has any uses for our purposes, to engage on what we could call a fact-finding mission to this region. Is there any response to that immediately? What's the vibe in the room looking like?
If you stop speaking, there is a long pause with murmuring and chattering and murmuring. And one of the warlords speaks up and goes, "So you are requesting some kind of recon mission to the eastern side of Atraria?"
Yes, recon might not be the best word necessarily, as this would be more scientific than military in nature, though, if I'm being honest, I don't know if the practical difference between those two matters much at this juncture.
Well, unfortunately, Captain Bana, through every fault of your own, you are too valuable for your own good. The people of Cazilor have rallied around you, and we had some intentions to keep you away from danger in a more tactful manner. On the meeting today, we intended to set you up for a sort of parade to encourage rising teens to sign up for Erasmus training camps for civilians and to go out for the tryouts and help defend their country. It would be away from the front lines of the now blazing war, and you wouldn't have to worry about dying. But going deep into the depths of Atraria, well, that's probably about as deadly as it can get, and I don't know if we can greenlight that.
Bane is going to pause for a second, genuinely contemplating the practicality of this as a man who has obviously faced death in the field at this point a few times in his life. Then he's going to speak again. He says, "First, let me thank the Assembly for their concern for the well-being of my squad, and also thank you for the appreciation that you've shown for our accomplishments.
Of course.
Yes, this mission proposal is unconventional and might not line up with your vision for the purpose of our squad. Headliner Squad has only taken on 2 missions to date, but not only do we show a 100% rate of success, as you've acknowledged, we show that rate in the face of multiple unprecedented weapons. Previously entirely unseen, the Atrarians' use of portals, this new arcane necrodia technology, these were both strategies that we surpassed with absolutely no warning or preparation whatsoever. Assembly, it is a worrying but undeniable fact that Atraria's military tactics are developing incredibly quickly, and they have shown no hesitation in deploying these new tactics against us. However, my team has proven their capability in response to these tactics, and I could not be prouder of them for it. I am a soldier, yes, but at heart, I am a scientist. That means my role is to analyze, to look at the unknown and hopefully find new paths to understanding. I have recently been on quarantine with nothing but the members of Headliner Squad assembled here and, of course, the Necrodia Crystal. That means that for the last 2 months of my life, I have been in constant, close contact with one of the most intriguing new powers that Cazilor has ever seen. And to be clear, I'm not speaking of the crystal when I say that. Based simply on what Headliner Squad has been able to do while forced into unexpected defense, I can only imagine what we might be able to accomplish if allowed to be proactive. And I encourage the Assembly to consider those possibilities as well.
Well, that is quite the speech, Captain Baina. I am unsure of the exact purpose of your mission. Sure, you want to travel to Avalarium. You believe it is the source of these crystals. And to my knowledge, you believe... Correct me if I'm wrong, but we believe that Fertala the Grimshar is behind these crystals?
From our understanding, yes.
I simply don't see a path where you, as humans, could get within any respectable distance of any sort of scientific Atrarian lab without being spotted and killed.
Well, I would counter that theory with the response that we don't necessarily need to get within direct proximity of a lab. It would be ideal, of course, but again, I have plenty of experience in this area. I don't mean to brag, but I do believe that I am one of the most accomplished enchanters in this nation. I've studied this crystal extensively, and I think that I would be able to benefit, and therefore Cazilor and the Masmus would be able to benefit by a better understanding of the ecology that this crystal comes from. Of course, enchanting is fundamentally tied to the nature of the wild itself. That is an undeniable truth. And by just examining the wild around which this crystal originated, I should be able to learn quite a bit more. Much of our knowledge of Atraria is minimal at best, and what we have comes largely from word of mouth. Even the flora and fauna of the area are a mystery. I believe I can shed some light on the subject, and, as you mentioned, stealth would be of utmost priority in this mission. You can't send an entire squad deep into Atrarian territory, but Headliner Squad is small. We are capable of moving quickly and quietly without being detected. I believe this makes us suited for the job.
And you do not believe that you can get to the bottom of these crystals without more intel, without doing this mission?
If I am to give an entirely honest answer to that, Assembly, I do believe that I could likely figure it out, but it would take time that we do not have. As I mentioned earlier, Atraria's military tactics are developing at an unprecedented speed, and they are deploying them actively. For all the time it's taken me to study the crystal up to this point, That's 2 more months for their technology to develop beyond ours. We need to move quickly. We do not have the luxury of sloth here, and we further do not have the luxury of caution.
You see the warlords kind of look at each other, look back and forth, and one of the giants goes, "Let's take a brief 15-minute recess to discuss this. Meet back here." And the headliners are dismissed. The warlords all get up from their chairs, and the way recess works is everyone's kind of in this room, but we'll still just kind of be talking and murmuring to each other. So if there's anything you want to do during this recess, let me know. Any conversations you want to have, you could even talk to warlords if you wanted to, anybody, not just Bana.
For the
RG
record, go ahead.
Well, RG was going to look for the most skeptical-looking warlord and try to start up a conversation.
Yeah, for sure. You can find one of those bad boys. You find the one with the French accent that was speaking at first, was asking all the tough questions, is in conversation with someone, but you can approach.
Your lordship, I hope it's not inappropriate for me to strike up a bit of a conversation.
Ah, no, not at all. Speak your mind. Nat.
Well, can I make an insight check?
Insight check. Sure. What would you like to insight?
I want to get some insight on what they want to hear in terms of what this mission means and can accomplish. Specifically, am I going for a pathological appeal, like a emotional appeal, patriotic appeal?
For sure. Give me an insight check. Absolutely.
That is, let me pull up my stats. 19.
A 19. So you want to basically know the through line to this warlord is like, what are they looking for?
Yeah.
I can tell you it's probably a mix of things. Based on what people were saying, because the headliners have become such a fucking like phenomenon, they are scared of you guys just fucking getting obliterated and dying, like going in and fucking, hoorah, let's take them out, and just biffing it. Like Matt said, you've done 2 missions, both had unprecedented things happen, and you managed to get through it, but how many lives does this cat have?
Right.
And so they're scared of that, which is why they were going to make you more of like a pedestal piece and wheel you around Cazilor. You can intuit that with a 19. You can also intuit that, per what Matt said, which is they are, the longer we wait, the more their technology advances even further ahead of us. That is terrifying to them. They already have this technology that is in the field, being used well, and we don't even know how it works. So that would also be a good bargaining chip. They also believe that Bane is the only one that could probably figure out how it works. You're stuck in between an impasse where you need time and you have none. And that's sort of the whole scoop.
All right. Let me collect my thoughts for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Actually, while he's doing that, let me just say real quick, for the record, Bana is just going to be like frantically poring over notes, figuring out, like, he's thinking of possible questions in his head and what his response is going to be. So if anyone else wants to talk to him after this, that's what he's doing. I'm just going to establish it and then step back.
I also would want to ask you, Matt, are you trying to get through this without mentioning Forget-Me-Not at all?
If possible, yes. If I really need to play that trump card, I will be able to, but I'm trying not to. That is last resort.
Got it. Okay. So, Mike, you would also know trump card stuff that you know they haven't gotten the response from Forget-Me-Not in 2 months.
Right. RG looks to his captain, frantically poring over notes, and says, Captain Baina is a fantastic strategic and scientific mind, but I fear perhaps he didn't impart a few aspects of this unto you. I think there's a common misconception that the more dangerous situations one gets in, the more one's life is at risk. In my opinion, those repeated instances are more so practice. You get better at avoiding danger and staying alive. And let me assure you, our team is focused on staying alive. If we weren't, well, more than one of us would have been killed in our last mission. I acknowledge we got through that through the skin of our teeth, but if our nation is to get through this war, it will be through the skin of our teeth. I'm aware that your situation is a bit more dire in terms of intel than you would like to bring to the floor. I wouldn't like to bring it to the floor either. So, to avoid it becoming a factor and a necessary talking point, let us take the mission and take the problem out of your hands. And if we fail, the knowledge goes with us, and you can have your campaign as you want it.
We taking some different angles to this, huh? Holy shit.
Wow. The Warlord kind of smirks at you and goes, Argentum, I thought you were just a knight. Turns out you are quite the reporter.
I like to think of myself as a future politician, even.
Well, I think it is definitely a field you would excel in. I will bring up your points to my colleagues. And she walks away.
It's much appreciated.
Anybody else
RG doesn't
wanna say
up as he walks away, out of sight of anyone.
I do. I want to go up to another one that was on the fence or like looked to be on the fence.
Yes, sure. You actually approach a giant with a sort of the sort of southern accent.
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing? Winsome Rosenthorn, correct?
And that's what they call me. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this sweet and short because I know we have to get back. This recess is quickly coming to a close.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more than I would love than to just be a figurehead and not be out in the field. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
However, we cannot afford for the Atraria to advance their technology. I would like to propose a sort of deal here.
I'm listening.
3 for 3 mission, and our contracts are done.
So let me get this straight. You want us to allow you on this mission.
Yes.
Extremely deadly. Even though all past reports we have gotten on your performance from Captain Baina has stated that you don't enjoy serving.
Mm-hmm.
And in exchange, you get to be done.
Not just me, but anyone else in the squad that would opt to no longer be a field agent. We get to be your figureheads, finish the rest of our service, traveling the safest parts of the country, and spouting whatever bullshit you want us to.
Well,
You have to admit, propaganda does look good on me.
I can't deny that if you did go out and succeed, and then spent the rest of your days sheltered and safe, talking about how great it is to do something about this war. I mean, the optics would speak for themselves. It would be quite the story. Winsome, I'll take this into consideration.
Thank you for your time.
All right. He sets you down. I assume he was talking to you like this. Sets you down.
On his palm.
This was such an interesting little opener because it really showed how all three of the characters were trying to accomplish the same goal with radically different means. I love that.
Wow, incredibly great points being brought up. So, I got to think about this now.
The practicality, the blackmail, and the bargaining. We're all going for just different shit here.
So, the Warlords all have their recess. You all have their recess. Not court, but the meeting is now back in session. And people, the human at the center with the deep voice kind of goes, all right. I have talked with my colleagues. My colleagues have talked with a handful of headliners. And we have come to a conclusion. He sort of shuffles some papers and looks at him. Captain Baina, you will be permitted to go on your, for lack of a better word, recon mission into Avalarium. In return, if you succeed and don't somehow die, which I cannot express enough how likely it is, if you succeed, as a thanks from the nation of Cazilor, any of you who desire to can retire, even if your service is not complete contractually, on the agreement that, in your retirement, you spend an allocated amount of time that we can write up later every year promoting the Masmus and your legacy.
Seems like
I'll do you one better. I'll be a judge if you want me to. At the tryouts, I'll be a judge.
We would take you up on that. Be very careful with what you promise.
Once a year as my spokesperson, I'll do that.
Well, it seems like my squad has already expressed their support for this proposal, and as the captain, I must agree that it is incredibly generous of the Assembly to offer such a deal. We shall accept with gracious thanks.
I do just have one question. The giant speaks up again. How do you intend to get to Avalarium? Surely you don't intend to travel by horseback through unmapped wilderness.
Actually, if you turn to page 37, section C in the booklets that I passed out before this meeting, I have laid out a proposal for a sea-based route that we can take going along the eastern coast, etc., etc. He's thought this through.
I see. Section
It's buried
C.
deep in there somewhere behind pages and pages and pages of science.
Right.
But yeah, a sea route is essentially what he is proposing.
Now, are you aware that there is very little, if any, seafaring vessels in the Sanguine Sea?
Yes, it is a sparsely populated area, but hopefully we might be able to use that to our advantage with the right captain.
And are any of the headliners familiar with sailing a ship? Lexi raises his hand. He goes, yeah, I grew up by the sea. Family had a sailboat. I could probably crack it. He goes, crack it you would indeed have to do. I wouldn't feel comfortable putting any outside resource on this mission following you along deep into enemy territory. It's not right to put a civilian up to that task. And, well, I guess that's about it. Tell you what, I suppose the Warlord Assembly can allocate some funds to get you a seafaring vessel ready to go on the Sanguine Sea. It's going to give us a few days. We're going to need some time to put that together for you, but this will officially be your next assignment, headliners. Congratulations.
Once again, we thank the Assembly for consideration of our proposal and are eager to provide excellent results.
And let me be very clear. One way or another, this will be your last assignment. You are dismissed.
Bana nods and brings everybody along with him out.
Fantastic work, headliners. Truly fantastic work. Su Young is fucking foaming at the mouth with all the stuff that went down. He is just scribbling up everything. He is permitted to write a story about this upcoming mission. He will. At this point, though, no headliner's role necessary. The powers that be are now betting on you as well, and will make sure that this story does well to sort of set up the payoff.
I actually have two questions really quick.
Is he saying that we're heading into Atraria?
I assume this would be another one that's published after.
It would be something that's like, they're not gonna do it and like expose your shit, but he is permitted to write about it when it's happened to sort of set you up for success.
Two quick questions. Number one, they said no outside resources would be allocated to this, but then they also mentioned civilians. I assume Vera's going on this mission as well.
I
realize that could technically be ambiguous.
Vera is going. They just meant they didn't want like a civilian mariner to come and like steer your fucking death mission.
Secondary question, just as we're leaving, I have a -1 on this, so maybe other people might want to help. But can I, just out of curiosity, insight check the vibe of the Assembly at large towards this? Because the one guy spoke and he seemed to be sort of tentatively on board, but I'm curious, just out of curiosity, what the vibe in the room was.
Vibe in the room.
And I see Mike rolling a die, which is good, because that was kind of a for someone with better insight. That's an 8.
Nice. It's a 25. Nope, 22.
22.
I'm very glad I asked.
With a 22, first off, did any of you, Momo and Mike, did you tell the others what you said?
Oh, no.
At this point, like as we're leaving, I would assume definitely not. Maybe if told later at all, like.
Probably not like at the meeting.
So Mike, then, Bana, you just assume like you gave a good presentation. They really liked your 64-page pamphlet, and they think it's a reasonable plan. Mike, you think that the threat, much like how they were worried about the headliners dying, that it would do a serious blow to like the charisma of the nation, they're seriously worried about Forget-Me-Not being dead, as like that is like the talk about a headpiece of the company. They really don't want that out yet, especially if nothing is confirmed. And so the fact that they know that you know that,
with them being turned into a friggin' crystal, that's what their concern should be.
The fact that they know that you know that was enough to be like, give them whatever they want. Give them whatever they want. We're not ready for this to get out yet. If we need to tell them that Forget-Me-Not's dead, we gotta do like a proper statement and like have at least some evidence that it happened. But they already know. Give them what they want. Give them what they want.
It's so fun. For the record, I as a player think that was excellent. That was a great play by Mike. That was fun. If when Bana hears that you were like, oh, I wouldn't tell him about for heavily implied Forget-Me-Not, you're like,
yeah.
His reaction to that is going to be
I don't think Matt's speech would have done it. I think with just Matt's speech, they would have scoffed at Winnie's offer. It's like, oh, you want to have your cake and eat it too? Kick rocks, kid. But with the threat of this knowledge that you have, yeah, that got the job done.
RG's 2 for 2 on political blackmail, baby. we got a playbook.
I mean, it's working. It's working.
So they said they need a few days to prepare a vessel at the Sanguine Sea. That whole zone is kind of a hot zone right now. Like Loneshire was just destroyed recently. It's very eastern. I wasn't kidding when I said there's not many ships at all out there. People don't live out there. It's basically a gray area on the border of Cazilor at this time. So if you are heading there, I assume you're just heading to the nearest tip of the Sanguine Sea, and not going farther than you need to travel. You will have time to go search for Solomon Scantilla, who through your research lives in Mythweald, which if you own the source book is number 19. It is a little up the road from Zeridia, very southeastern Cazilor by Infinity Peak. You'll have time to sort of swing around before you swing back east to go see if you can't find him and talk to him. You have an address. And so that's what we can get up to next. You, I assume, just arrive. I don't think any of you have anything you want to do before this. Arrive in Mythweald. Like I said, it's by Infinity Peak, which is the tallest mountain in Cazilor. Fucking gorgeous. Just beautiful. Stretches above the clouds. And it's sort of at the base of this mountain. And it's like a smaller town. It's nothing crazy. Eastern, so it's definitely not fancy. People who live in the East generally, live near a war zone. So, but it's quaint. It's nice. Small town, and you head up to the door of the address with it's like a little shabby cabin.
I mean, I think at this point, I'm going to let RG take the lead on it for sure. This is his element, so I'm there definitely. But
yeah, are all the headliners here, or are we just letting? Like, do you want to all the headliners are here? Hello, we're famous. Let us in your house. Let us talk to you, or do you just want to send one? Or
I mean, again, RG definitely needs to be there. I want to be there. This is an off the books sort of thing, so I'm not super picky about who all goes.
I don't know would Splat be there as well? This is someone that knows his brother or knew his brother.
You don't know if this is someone that knew his brother. The lead that you got from this is in the tryouts. You believe this person did the tryouts with Forget-Me-Not. But their name doesn't appear on anything else. Their name appeared in the tryouts next to where you deduced Forget-Me-Not's name would have been if it wasn't altered. And that's basically the only lead you have here. You don't really know who Solomon Scantilla is.
Also, follow-up question. Did we find out what the theme of that year's tryouts was?
Duos.
Yeah, because it was one of the reasons we were skeptical was it was a duos fight, but then there was one singular person, which isn't unheard of, but it was weird.
Yeah, normally if somebody goes in being a single guy, they know they're hot shit and they become somebody, but this guy didn't. He did it at the tryouts solo and then never showed up in any Masmus documents ever again. Weird.
Gotcha. I don't think Winnie would be there. Winnie would be throwing little pieces of her flowers into the ocean to see if they root anywhere.
You're not at the ocean yet. You're traveling over land.
We're not that close?
You're gonna have to travel. Yeah, you're still a few hundred miles away from the ocean.
Never mind then.
But you should try that later. But yeah, if it's just RG, it's just RG. That's what we can do. Or RG and Bana.
Yeah. Well, RG's gonna knock on the door. Only
Cool.
polite.
You knock. You don't hear anything.
Is there anyone in the vicinity? Does he have like a backyard?
You got a backyard. There's like people around, yeah.
RG will wave down a person, I guess. Excuse me, do you
Huh?
live near here?
Yeah, why?
I'm looking for the man who lives in this house. Do you know if he'd be home around this time?
Oh, you don't want to talk to him.
Well, I'm afraid it's my job to.
Aren't you
Why
that
do you say that?
fucking guy I read about in the paper?
There are a lot of fucking guys in the papers. Maybe.
Yeah, mushroom guy, right?
I believe that would be me.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, where's the other one? Where's your other half? The horny girl.
And everyone winces within a 10-mile radius.
My sister doesn't tend to take missions of this kind, and it is one that I have to keep under wraps a little bit.
Okay, for sure.
You know, on the down low, discretion.
Yeah, okay.
Does Mr. Scantilla have a reputation that I should know about?
I don't know. He's just kind of a hermit. Nobody really knows much about him. He just yells at everybody. Comes out to get groceries. That's about it. Gets a pack of cigarettes.
Huh. Well... Okay, thank you for the information.
Yeah, sure.
RG's going to walk back to the front side of the house or wherever there is a window with the least amount of people watching because he has decided he is going to break and enter and sneak in.
Okay.
So we're going to do that.
RG has decided to do a crime. You presented that so casually. Beta's here. Are you like asking him about or are you just doing this? I mean, he's like standing back, letting you do things. Like, RJ, why are you going around there?
Listen, Captain, he's a hermit. He's not answering his door. I think we need to go for a bit of an unconventional method to this.
RJ, you're going to get yourself stabbed.
I am very good at being quiet. All right? One of my favorite pastimes as a kid was learning how to get around the house quietly. No one knew where I was. It was so liberating. It would scare people. I have a light step.
Like,
It'll be fine.
send him.
Yes, it'll be fine.
If you get stabbed, call for help.
I'll shout something. And RG's gonna slip through a window.
Cool. First off, roll me a stealth.
Yes.
Immediately roll me a stealth.
What is that? That's a 13.
Okay. You are stealthing. You find around the side of the house a closed glass window.
I'm gonna try to open it from the outside.
It's
Actually,
locked.
that makes sense. Are there windows on the second story?
It's a one-story home.
It's a one-story home.
It's a little cabin.
Can I do an investigation for other points of egress?
Sure.
Other ways to get in the building?
Sure.
RG's doing laps around the house, and whenever he passes Beta, he's saying stuff like, keep a lookout.
Yes, that. All right. Beta briefly considers letting Amphis slither his way in and unlock the window, and then decides Absolutely fucking not.
I got a 17.
17. There are windows, and there's a front door and a back door.
Let's try the back door.
Cool.
I guess I didn't try to open the front door. Let me try to open the front door first, and then I'll try to open the back door and see if either are unlocked.
Front door is locked. Back door, which notably you have to hop a fence. Back door, unlocked.
And we're gonna sneak in and try to stay hidden and see if anyone is home.
Cool.
Nathan, did you expect this to be how the episode was gonna go?
I don't know, man. But here we are. You sneak in. You're inside the cabin.
All right.
As soon as you step in, you see an old man butt-ass naked, dripping with water. And he goes, "Fuck his sweet mother, who are you in my house?"
I am so...
What the fuck are you doing?
So sorry. I'm here on official business.
Oh my god, I'm butt-ass naked in here!
I knocked on the door and didn't get an answer.
Yeah, I don't want whatever the fuck you're selling, mate!
I'm not selling anything. I have some questions to ask of you on official business with the Masmus. I would be happy to do so when you are clothed. And again, I am so sorry for... Really, this is a misunderstanding. They said you were a hermit. I kind of... I don't know.
They said that, this is quite rich, isn't it? You say you're here from the Masmus? I'm gonna get a pretty penny for this one, ain't I?
There's no job, sir. I'm not asking anything of you or putting anything about your life in danger. I need to ask about an acquaintance of yours.
Let me get dressed. And he walks his naked ass into the other room. And he comes back clothed. Notably, this guy seems older than Solomon Scantilla would be. Solomon Scantilla would be mid-30s, about Baina's age. This is an old man.
Do you mind if my captain joins us?
What, you just fucking bring the whole circus in? Sure. You want me to cook up a meal too?
I will not begrudge. I have no room. He should be here. It's official. I'm just gonna go get him.
I can't
Captain?
wait to write a letter to the Masmus saying that a couple of their knights broke into my home. That settlement's gonna be quite nice.
It was an unlocked door.
You had to hop a fence.
Short fence.
Oh my days. Let the bastard in. Sure. Let them all in.
Captain Baina, we have a meeting.
He fucking grabs a cigarette.
Baina, and he's just standing there like, so that sounded like it went well.
Yeah, maybe you might want to start the lead on the questioning.
I think you've started, RG. But then, yeah, I'll go and knock on the door rather than going through the back.
Fucking come in.
Open the door. First off, sir, let me apologize profusely on behalf
Save the speech. Dumb and dumber. Ask your questions.
First off, question. You said he's notably older.
Notably older.
Like, so is that something that I would pick up on immediately?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He's got more folds than a fucking poker game.
Which RG's so familiar with. So my first thing immediately I'm realizing is just like, I want to confirm who this guy is. So, this guy's like, we're here looking for a Solomon Scantilla. I assume that is you, knowing it's wrong, but...
Fuck no, my name's Frank. Frank Scantilla.
And is Solomon a relative of yours?
What's he got up to?
At the moment, nothing. Let me assure you, no one is in any trouble. We're looking for some old Masmus contacts that we believe Mr. Scantilla, well, Solomon Scantilla, was connected with.
Document, huh? Well, you're gonna be short out of luck. As far as I know, he's dead.
As far as you know, might I ask when you last heard from Solomon and what your relation to him is?
Well, he's my son.
Once again, figured as much, but didn't want to assume. And you assume he's dead on what grounds?
Well, he ain't fucking here, ain't he? Nah. He ran away. Never came back. Presumed dead.
Well, I'm very sorry for your loss, first and foremost.
Yeah, thanks.
When did Solomon run away?
16 years ago.
How long ago was his Masmus tryout?
16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We have record of Solomon entering the Masmus tryouts at this time. Did you hear from him afterwards, or?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, it cost a pretty fucking coin to get him in that tryouts, too. I couldn't even go myself. He went, said he did fucking terrible. I ain't give a fuck. But clearly he did.
Forgive me if this seems like an irrelevant line of questioning, but what exactly went so terribly in his tryouts?
Fuck if I know, wasn't there. He just said he did bad. Came home, just a fucking mess. I said, oh, mate, it's fine. Just go work at the church. It's easy. Seemed pretty torn up by the whole thing. Granted, I was very adamant about him doing his proper duties as a Cazilorian. He was born blessed. Our family was blessed by the mother. And, you know, so when he ran away, the missus blamed me for it, didn't she? I guess that's the fucking end of the story, innit?
Did you ever know of your son coming into contact with a person named Corey?
Doesn't ring a bell, no.
Well, according to our records, this Corey was Solomon's partner in his Masmus audition.
That could have been randomly assigned, of course, but we can't be sure, which is one of the reasons why we're here.
There is also a possibility that, given the possibility of who Corey is, it could be related to why Solomon may have come back so shaken up.
And so what's this got to do with me?
Well, to be honest, sir, at the moment, nothing directly. We didn't even know that you were here. This is simply Solomon's last known residence. Again, let me be clear that no one in your family is in any sort of trouble. It's just this other soldier that we're trying to find information on.
You said you were going to get a pretty penny for this one. What did you mean by that?
I mean, I was going to sue the fuck out of the Masmus for a couple of their jabronis coming into my house uninvited.
All right, fair
I
enough.
know my rights. And to be honest, you're making this really worth my while. You're talking a bunch of shit. I don't know no fucking Corey. I don't know where my son is. I think he's fucking dead. My wife left me because of the whole ordeal. I really appreciate you coming down with my pants down and asking all these personal questions.
Sir, I believe
My
we've
fucking cigarette keeps going out.
inconvenienced you a bit more than was intended by any party. RG, if there's nothing else to say, we should go.
You have no idea where your son could have gone?
No.
He left after the tryout.
He was very torn up after the tryouts. He ran away from home. Never saw him again.
I'm gonna sort of put my arm around RG and start escorting him out.
RG's expression doesn't change. He doesn't look like he notices you dragging him out.
As we leave, Bana goes, once again, so sorry for the inconvenience, sir. You can report that complaint under a Captain Oldovich, and then just very quickly runs out of the house.
Hey, you bet I fucking will, mate. Get the fuck out of here. And lock the door.
Bana pauses to try to figure out how he's supposed to lock the door without a key from the outside. And then
You
just pull
fucking idiot. Just get out of here.
Once we're a safe distance away from the house, Bana's going to turn to Arnie. Well, that was not as productive as I had hoped. For the record, don't break into people's homes, Argentum.
Normally, I'd be snippy at that, but honestly, that was a really stupid move. That's
What
fair.
exactly? I heard half of a quite
He
unpleasant
was still
conversation.
sopping wet during that whole conversation.
He had just gotten out of the bath. I really messed that one up. Anyway, how about we go to the church and see if anyone there may have known or seen Solomon, or if anyone in town may have known or seen Solomon. He lived here. Maybe there is someone else who can give us some information about his last days before his disappearance.
Yes, that's a good idea. We should also see if there's any this is actually, I guess, a question for Nathan before Bana says it. Would a local church keep any, like, records of gifted people?
If they worked at the church, I could see that being a thing, yeah.
Yeah, so we should also look and say, well, I'll say this in characters. We should also see if the church has any records of gifted children from around that time with anything related to eyes. It's entirely possible that Corey was a randomly assigned partner, but also more likely than other possibilities that they were from here. But agree that church is the right path, so we'll head there.
Cool. Is it still just RG and Bana?
Once again, anyone is welcome to join. I don't want to lock this scene off.
I just assumed you guys came back to the carriage after that disastrous.
Oh yeah. We went back because again, I want to be sure we're out of anyone's earshot before we talk about sensitive stuff. So we went back to the carriage, and then we're.
So you broke into the guy's home.
Oh, gentlemen, welcome to the guy's home.
They said he was a hermit. I was expecting something more hostile, or I don't know.
I would have called that hostile.
Ari speaks up.
So
he's a hermit, so let's break into his house where he definitely is. Great idea, Archie. Wow.
Thing.
I see why they call you the smart one.
He was absolutely inside. Like a hermit's going to be inside their house.
Oh, he's a hermit. Let's break in. Maybe he won't be there. Genius.
I'll be honest, I thought if he was a hermit, he just wasn't answering the door. I don't know. Maybe he was asleep. I don't know. It was clearly a bad idea, and I'm not going to defend it. But wait.
So you thought he was sleeping so you would break into his home?
Wasn't this supposed to be like a secret mission, and now it's going to turn into a settlement case?
And you did it in uniform?
Really impatient. This is
uniform?
If this does come to a case, I will have to potentially write you up for that, but we can, given that this is also unofficial business. This is a problem.
Like
we don't have the luxury.
Your actual names, though, right? You did give fake names, right?
I mean, I technically did.
He wasn't really interested in knowing my name.
Okay, a win for win. And you found.
Anyways,
we're going to hope
now, or should we
that
not trust you to come up with
Scantilla is enough of a hermit to not make the effort to leave his home and actually do something about this. We are not going to bother him any further. That is the end of that. We do have another potential lead in the local church, however, and I would like to start focusing on that and not the past failings as soon as possible.
Wow.
You said his wife left him. Does she still live in town?
We were a bit shaken during the interrogation, Argentum
Oh,
especially.
yes. A naked old man is absolutely very distracting. I understand.
Well, I
but
wasn't going to
usually-
ask him about his ex-wife. I was in no position to ask him about his ex-wife's
A
whereabouts.
young man breaking into your home while you're naked and immediately asking about your romantic affairs would not have been the best
Well,
look.
The church will have marriage documents if she lives in town. It's very well known. Men do not know shit about their kids, but their wives do.
Yeah. All right. So
So you guys want to head to
we
the church?
can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Sure. Let's head to the nearest church. This town's small enough where there's probably, once again, only one. So that makes your lives easy. You head to the church, much like the last church at Loneshire. You're greeted with first the youngins, who are the lowest rank in the church, greeting you like, hello, hello, welcome to the church of Mythweald, happy to have you, yada, yada. We can skip the semantics of it all and get straight to the meat and potatoes of talking to someone with like an administrative role here. And so, yeah, you met with probably the one keeper, I believe it is the term for priest here. It's either keeper or servant. Can't remember. Doesn't really matter. The equivalent of a priest. The one priest for this church. And you get in front of him. And he's like, by the way, are you in Masmis gear?
I partially wish we weren't after the debacle last time, given that this is a little bit more legal. Yes.
Cool. So he like greets you all, and who all is here? Is it all the headliners? Is it some of you once again? Anybody's welcome. Anybody you want to be there?
Bane is there. I assume Archie's there. Winnie, are you coming?
Yeah, we cannot trust how you did the black.
Yeah.
Like this. I guess we need adult supervision.
Sure.
Cool.
And then I think
Pretty much.
Ari will also attend, and then the pinnacle of intelligence, Splat, and Lexi will watch the carriages and the horses. Cool. 4 people here. I do want to look up which is the proper term because I don't want to keep misquoting that. If it's keeper or servant. Keepers. I was correct. So yeah, you talk to the local keeper. There's only one, and he goes, "Well, headliners, it's a pleasure to have you here. Little bit starstruck. What can we do for you here at our local Church of the Wild?"
Bane is going to start talking again before Archie can, after Archie's had a great streak of investigations, and then he's broke into the house of a naked old man. So Bane is going to talk first and go, first off, thank you for your hospitality. We're simply here looking for information. We know that this is the former residence of a man by the name of Solomon Scantilla. We came actually looking for him, but found out that he has not been around in quite some time. We were wondering if you had any information onto where he could potentially be, and if you know any of the circumstances of his leaving.
Yes, Solomon Scantilla. Yes, the name rings a bell. He went missing quite some time ago, I believe. Father is Frank Scantilla. Mother Scylla Scantilla, I believe.
Does she still live in the area?
I would have to check up on that. I think so. But after the missing persons incident, at least to say she was looking for something fresh. I do believe She still has residence here, but I don't know how often she stays.
All right.
Has something
all right.
happened?
To Solomon, no, not anything recent at the very least. We're looking for him in connection to another person, actually. Let me be clear, no one from your wonderful town has done anything wrong. There is no trouble about. In a related note, was there ever anyone by the name of Corey who lived in this town?
Well, we have a few Corys. How's it spelled?
If memory serves.
K-O-R-I.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell. No.
As a
Could that be
follow-up
short for
that-
something?
Potentially. As a
K-O-R-I.
as a follow-up that may provide more information, were there ever any people in this town with a particular gift related to the eyes? We don't know the specific manifestation of it, but we know that there was a clear and obvious visual difference related to, at the very least, the eyes.
Gift
This would have been
eyes.
around, say, manifestation likely 16 to 20 years ago. Perhaps a little older.
Whew. Well, that's quite a tall order, Captain Baina. We've had not many gifted people come through the town of Mythweald. Of course, we've had a few. Praise be the mother, but something with the eyes. I can think of a couple, but none that match with the time frame, I'm afraid. I wish
If
it could
there
be
is
more help.
information that don't particularly match, that may still be useful.
He can provide you like a list of names of people that had eye stuff, but like one of them's
It's,
like,
like, way off
12, one of them's like
Okay.
really old. Yeah, and they all have names and
Like,
families
yeah.
and stuff like
Extremely different time range,
Yeah.
not likely. Got it. Interesting.
that. Are you trying to find Solomon after all these years?
That may be a consequence of our investigation. Yes, we, in all honesty, didn't even know Solomon was missing until this investigation.
Oh.
Again, as you may have been able to guess, the target of the investigation is this Corey.
Corey,
It appears
no.
that they were familiar with Simon in some capacity. Solomon, excuse me, in some capacity.
No, it doesn't ring a bell. I'm aware of the story with Solomon, how he went to the tryouts, was incredibly distraught at his performance, and then ran away.
I don't suppose that you have any information on this, but it might be worth asking. Do you know exactly what went so wrong at the tryouts? It seems like it must have been something quite remarkable to cause such a reaction.
Oh, to my knowledge, he just completely biffed it. Whoever he was with, I suppose you're telling me their name was Corey, stole the show, not intentionally, from what I heard, and rumors, but from what I heard is he tripped and fell and knocked himself out almost within the first 30 seconds.
So what you're telling me is... And then Beta kind of trails off, not wanting to give away too much more information, realizing there's... Interesting. Thank you very much. That is
Yeah.
actually quite helpful information, potentially.
Yeah. Well, if you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer. I can tell you, we conducted an investigation long ago when he first went missing. Thankfully, we recently had to dig up a lot of information on missing people once that whole situation with the kidnapping started happening. The Masmis wanted to get all information on missing persons for a while. They determined that before a certain date, which would include our lost Solomon, that it didn't really pertain to the same situation, and chalked it up to classic missing persons. But when we conducted our own investigation many years ago, Solomon's close people with Solomon, like in his similar classes, said that his reason He only told one friend that he was running away before he did, and all he told him was he just wanted to get away from it all.
Who was this friend, if you don't mind me asking?
I think his name was Ben. Lives somewhere in here, I still believe.
Could be helpful again. Thank you once more. I don't believe we have any further questions unless turns to the rest of the squad. Anyone else has any ideas?
This is likely neither here nor there, and Nathan, you might have an answer, but
Yeah.
RG's going to ask, do you know what path Solomon would have walked?
Very interesting question. Yeah, no, he would. Local priests would know the paths of all the local families, for sure. The Scantilla family are traditionally Path of Flame.
Okay.
Which is, the grandpa or the dad said he was very duty driven, which is very popular with Path of Flame people. You have a blessing, you should do your part, sort of thing. Are there any other things you want to do while in Mythweald? Any? Are you not? It seems right now. It seems like you're running into a bit of a dead end with things.
Yeah.
Let me get some checks of some kind. Because you have a series of facts in front of you, and maybe with a good check, I can connect some dots here. At least a little bit.
Also, didn't Jeremiah was it RG where to find Sanctuary?
No, I don't think so.
None of us know the specific
The only
location.
tidbit about Sanctuary,
Atraria.
it's technically in Atraria.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
rough.
Technically, which definitely doesn't paint it in a good light. Let me think about what check I kind of want here. Investigation, insight, history, something along those lines. Anybody who wants to can give me a roll here.
You said history. I have a nice +6 to that, actually +3 because I have my Flash of Genius, which is a really busted ability.
I'm going to make an investigation.
Okay.
I got a nat 1. Fuck. Nat 1. Not even my +9 can help that. That's a 10, technically.
Oh. No, I thought that was 17. That was just 7 on the die.
Baina's busy filling out a preemptive HR report.
I got a 15 on investigation.
Okay. So
I only got an 11 on insight.
nat 1, 11 on insight, 15 on investigation. Okay. I have a web of information that's not even up here. I wish it was, but this is where I'm looking to figure it out. Here are things you do know. So this is Winnie, and this is just Winnie and RG here. Here's what you do know. Solomon went to the tryouts 16 years ago. Performed badly. Clearly assumed he didn't make the cut because he performed badly. And ran away. Okay? You also know Captain Baina was asking about people who might have gifts. With your rolls, you can discern that you don't know if Forget-Me-Not had a gift going into the tryouts. That's actually very rare. Most people get their gifts activated in the Masmus. And Forget-Me-Not wasn't mentioned until the year Asher died.
Yeah.
And so one could assume that if they were from here, locals wouldn't recognize them from a gift. That's one thing you can not take for guarantee anyways. Another thing that you know. Actually, did you know this? Probably maybe just RG would know this. Oh, but would he? Oh, fuck.
Can't give us extra info.
You can tell me. I'll let you know whether RG knows or not.
Okay, so yeah, you wouldn't know if Forget-Me-Not was gifted or not. That was a big one. Assuming the conversation that RG and Panda had wasn't the only conversation that they had. With a 15 or a 16, with an investigation, we'll say you're investigating your own memories. You would know. Mind Palace, flipping through the folders. You would know that before they started ripping people from the tryouts, they originally just picked up runaways. Because it was kind of a common thing for young teens, 18-year-old teens, 19-year-old teens, out of fear of being perceived as a crank, wouldn't even want to face that if they failed the tryouts and just run away.
Then that knocks down really the only hurdle I had to. That was my top theory, that he went with Jeremiah, and he is in Sanctuary. So
Great.
Yeah.
Headliner Squad has an awesome connection to this guy. Buried in the rubble under the New
Jeremiah? He would have predated him.
He would have predated Jeremiah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with the group that Jeremiah was associated with,
yes.
clearly it wasn't just him.
Yeah, no, it's a commune of sorts.
While we're investigating memory,
yeah,
who else was there with Jeremiah when RG went to see what all this desertion business was about?
God. Oh my God! The lady with the eyes. Remember? No, is she different? No.
There was another lady with
eyes?
him, but that didn't.
That's a different person.
That was never like a huge character.
No, there was a girl with
an
with
eye
Panda.
thing though. No.
No eye thing. No eye
I
thing.
will.
Then how did he get knocked out?
They had
They had gas.
they had little,
Yeah.
Oh,
little
they had
darts.
gas.
Which,
Gotcha, okay.
Or darts, I
Which
think.
part of
Yeah.
me did think Forget Me Not would have been somehow involved with, but admittedly, I don't know how that would be happen.
Don't know how, but yeah, but there was a girl with him at that time, during that little recruitment session. You wouldn't know much about her. Short, chopped hair. Looks like they done it themselves. Dirty blonde, like they used to have black hair, but then they dyed it. And there was, in that meeting out in the carriage, it was Panda's character doing a lot of the talking, the girl sitting on like a rock or something nearby, and an older guy who was the one that did the,
On one side of the rocks, there is a man standing there. You don't recognize him. I lean up, and the guy who was standing next to me, you feel a prick in your neck. And all of a sudden, the world goes crazy.
Okay, so I was remembering at least that part correctly. There was someone that did that thing that knocked him out.
Yeah.
That older guy, so that probably is Solomon.
Man, this is so bittersweet getting such a good little piece of information that at the moment I feel we can do absolutely fuck all with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this
found
was
a great clue 3 weeks late.
this was a pit stop in your actual mission, so you have gained.
I mean, only RG would I was gonna say not only remember it, have a probably pretty hazy memory of it. So
yeah, because
we know a little
he
bit
thought
more,
of it as a
maybe.
dream. So it's in your dream journal. You have written down, you talked with this guy, and this girl was there, and this older guy knocked you out.
Okay.
Well, we just have to somehow find what. Well, Solomon would be probably at Sanctuary. There's not another When's the next tryout?
It's the beginning of the year. It's
definitely
like
Okay.
6
not
months
within
away
the
at
next
least.
few days. Yeah.
Never mind then.
It's 6 months away at least.
So they're probably at Sanctuary. But if we're going into Terraria anyway, how necessary is it that we find a person that met Forget-Me-Not once? Unless we are assuming they only met Forget-Me-Not once. And Forget-Me-Not wasn't working with them as the only other humans in Terraria.
Let me be clear, Momo, on your line of thinking. Are you theorizing that maybe because Forget-Me-Not spends so much time in Atraria that perhaps Forget-Me-Not is co-aligned with Sanctuary?
I'm kind of saying that because if Forget-Me-Not needed a sneaky way into Atraria, and the sanctuary is a place that is in Atraria that no one can find, at least Cazilor or Atrarians. That's probably a good safe zone for someone that no one can remember meeting. Easily could just hitch a ride on one of those cabins, not the cabins, but the whatchamacallits, the carts.
Yeah.
And people were like, wasn't there another person here? And be like, yeah, I guess not, maybe not.
Yeah. Not a terrible line of thinking at all.
And I feel like there's not much we could. Yeah.
I will say, for the sake of your sanity, unless you come up with something crazy, you probably won't find much other information.
Yeah, I think we got to move on to the next. Keep all this in mind.
I'm looking at the world map.
Yeah.
And just wild guess Atrari locations that look the most hiding awaysy. There's Ember Sea, which is a single island off the coast of Atraria. So that's very fucking interesting.
Nathan, can we actually get the map up on the screen?
Sure, that is possible.
Yeah.
Let me bust that out real quick.
I'm sure Bana would know this, but where was Jeremiah apprehended? Because that was close to Sanctuary.
That's a good question.
I'll zoom in on it on the map. Deep in the Starfield Passage. Sort of.
That's
in between the Red Gulf and the Sanguine Sea.
Damn, they got far before getting apprehended. If they came from Opulo.
Somewhere around here.
All right, and that kind of that implies that they were not taking a direct route to the sea for an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And where's that small island?
The small island is on the other end of the world, which I was going to say, Mike, not a likely case. Not a likely case.
Mm-hmm.
This one, number one, you'll notice Estersol has a similar one. Both of these are actually, I guess I'm canonizing this now, volcanoes. Islands made from volcanoes.
Yeah.
And these are forges where they make armor and swords for giants.
And what better cover for a camp than magma?
What a badass thing that just drops like, oh yeah, giants make their swords in this fucking volcano island.
So yeah, they both got one. How convenient. But so likely not a good hiding place.
I'm changing the plan. We're not going Avalarium. I want to go to the volcano island. We're going rogue, team.
We're not. I also notice a lot of X's that lead from the area where Jeremiah was apprehended into a little ways to Atraria.
Battles, right?
Those are destroyed previous settlements, like long since destroyed. They got wiped out. Like,
Human settlements?
They got wiped out like when the war began. Like people were expanding up the Starfield Passage, and then just boom, 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 got pretty much obliterated. Because this was before people knew that there were giants up there. They just were expanding. Are we trying to find Sanctuary?
We're trying to guesstimate Sanctuary to see if we can.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie, like I've stayed out of this conversation because I'm like I feel like there's very little reasonable way where we like go and look for it on this journey, but it would be interesting to know.
I would love to theorize all session, gang, but we do have other things to get to.
Yeah, we do have other things.
We do have other things
You have made
to get
this
to.
mystery too good, and I don't know if we are IQ enough to crack it.
Unfortunately, you have a mission to do. You do have to get to what will be over here on stream. This isn't an X anymore, but number 18 would be an X now as Lone Shire is destroyed. You will be heading over here to this previously ruined city. Obviously highly dangerous. This is sort of like a red zone on the map, but this is the closest entrance to the Sanguine Sea, so the risk is calculated, and you're gonna head out there with a lot of unanswered questions. We begrudgingly move on. So you arrive, and you are actually being escorted by other like Masmis squads. You are like the high priority, and they are, because you're in, this is effectively the battle zone area, so you're kind of like traveling into attacks could happen, and you're just making sure you're well protected. Nothing does happen, And eventually you arrive to the coast of the Sanguine Sea. And you are greeted with a sort of like a bootleg campsite with a bunch of tents and a bunch of workers. And you all pull up with your horses and your carriages, and all these people pull up, and a guy who does not look like he's a boots on the ground kind of guy walks up to you wearing a very nice suit, has a clipboard with information on it, thick glasses, and he sees the headliners approaching, and he goes, "Ah, yes! Hello, headliners! Hello! Glad you made it all safely. How was your journey? I hope it was easy."
Certainly easier than where we're going.
Most definitely. Nice to meet you. Captain Boehner, right?
Yes. And you are?
Captain Boehner. My name's Daniel. All right, I'm the one that has been looking over this entire vessel project. On the water, you see a seafaring vessel. And you actually also see approximately 25 construction workers still kind of piecing it together and putting the last touches on it. And Daniel goes, "Go ahead, walk with me. I'll show you the ropes." And you walk with him. There's a plank that leads you up onto the ship. It's a decent-sized ship. And he kind of goes, "All right, so this bad boy is made out of Cazilorian oak. You got 30 feet from bow to stern, 15 feet from starboard to port. The journey will take about 2 to 3 days with favorable winds, so we've given you about 4,500 cubic feet of cargo space underneath. That should be just enough to fit your horses and the hay necessary to sustain them for that journey. Any human cargo will probably have to be tied down on top. We're running a bare bones situation here. As far as weaponry, there is none. And as far as dorms, well, you'll probably be sleeping with the horses, but better than sleeping with the fishes. Haha, a little mariner joke there for you. Yeah, we got this bad boy built in 3 days, and it will be ready for the sea in just a few more hours. Any questions?
None that immediately jump to mind. It seems well crafted enough, which I assume it does from taking a look at it. I don't expect it to be the best ship on the water, but it seems acceptable.
It is.
Okay.
It is exactly what you need and nothing more.
Weird request. Do we have any fishing equipment on this ship? And B, if not, can we get some? On the off chance if something goes really wrong, maybe we have the backup plan of pretending we're a fishing vessel.
You see,
Don't think that'll be super great, but it's
you see
a plan is
this nerd guy kind of looking at the ship hears you ask if there's any fishing stuff, and he just kind of
I think when he also turns to Ben is like, Leviathan fishing equipment?
But not a giant-sized vessel. There are normal-sized fish, not as common, but in shallower water. Fine, never mind.
He takes off his glasses.
It's an idea.
No, Captain, this is my job. You want fishing equipment, you got it.
No,
but
not giant fish. I'm a scientist. Not every theory works. I acknowledge this.
okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Any other questions that don't require more work? Fantastic. Enjoy your vessel. It's held together by the funding of the Masmus itself, as well as hopes and dreams. So, you can name it what you want. Guys, wrap it up. They're ready to go. And you see all the guys go, "Hi!" and just click, start like climbing down off the sails, and getting shit, packing up, getting ready to go. The Masmith squads that helped you here help you load up your horses into the cargo portion of the ship and all the hay necessary. Again, the guy wasn't lying. If you want to sleep, you might be sleeping in the hay, but kind of just got to deal with it. If you're bringing any rations or stuff like that or any extra gear, that's going to get battened down on the top deck. And you see Lexi goes up to the fucking... I know steering wheel is not the right word.
Wheel.
It's just the wheel.
Yeah.
The wheel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
just a
like,
ship's wheel.
oh yeah, this is nice.
Can I insight check that?
Sure. Yeah. For sure.
He's done this before.
14.
Look at him. He's a natural.
He's a natural. He does seem to be very comfortable at the wheel.
Thank God.
And yeah, there's really not much else to do here, except start making way.
All right. I mean, if we're ready to go, we're ready to go.
You cast your sails. It's a gorgeous day. This journey is going to take 2 to 3 days with favorable winds. I assume you're going to attempt to take the fastest route, which would be staying relatively close to the shoreline, unless you tell me otherwise.
Yeah. Staying close to the shoreline, obviously, like far off enough to not be incredibly noticeable. Kind of banking largely on the fact like we are small, which is good. Like the small size of humanity going into a fully giant built nation is a huge benefit. I will say probably the biggest note for our navigation, and I'm of course willing to take other ideas on this. Avalarium is it's either a port city or very close to the coast. Is it actually a port city?
No.
No,
Not for the Sanguine Sea.
Not for the Sanguine Sea. It's a port city on the abyss.
Okay, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. So I was gonna say if it's a port city, then obviously we're gonna need to land like far south enough to not run into any giant ships. But if it's above, I don't have the map afterwards.
Yeah.
If it's above that land bridge, that point is irrelevant.
It is
so never
indeed.
mind. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Cool, we're good.
Cool. First off, is there any brief roleplay moments anybody wants to have on this?
I want to have one like shortly before we land, but that's it. That might be better as
Now,
like
while we're
an
traveling.
opener to the next scene.
Yeah, while we're traveling, does anybody have anything like on this first day of travel? I assume you kicked off into the sea in the morning and start traveling. Unless you would prefer to travel by night. Again, let me know these things. But
for the first day, travel by day seems fine. I might say travel by night. Like
the minute when
as
you get
we're
a little
approaching.
too deep, you might want to travel by night. Okay.
Right now, I mean, classic thing of we're starting with speed and then transitioning to caution as we get
Got
closer.
it. For sure.
I am throwing like flowers into the water and hoping they take root somewhere on the shores, just so I have eyes
Eyes?
in a terraria.
I have a question for Winnie. A question I don't think she knows the answer to, but at some point, Bane's going to see her doing that and go, Winsome, a question for you.
Yeah.
Does your gift extend to sea flora communication? Have you ever spoken to seaweed?
I've never tried. I don't know how beneficial that could be to be able to speak to sea plants.
More of a scientific inquiry rather than one of practicality. I just was curious about the limitations of your power. It is quite an interesting one in practice. Lots of information to be gained.
Do we have like a piece of like lead or stone I could like tie it to a flower and just drop it?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Give me like a nature check.
All right. Watch this be a nat 20 for something absolutely
If
ridiculous.
this is a nat 20, I'll attempt a backflip.
That was so fucking close. It was an 8 on the die.
I was
though.
playing with fate for a second there.
You really were.
We almost
Anyway,
got to watch
truly
Nathan
were.
kill himself on screen.
Live on stream. Cool.
It's
So
still a 12. It's a
these
12.
these flowers that you drop in, it's a very similar pattern. You pluck the flower. It's like, oh, cool, we get to go on a mission. And then you throw it in the sea, and it goes, oh, and then they just talk about how dark it is.
Imagine Beta sees Winnie make the exact face that Momo just did in real life, and go, that didn't look like it went incredibly well.
I think I've just doomed it to a life of darkness.
Well, if it's any consolation, I don't think the life will be very long.
I don't think that's true. I think it's a magic flower that's going to live the rest of its life in the dark.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
I take a D4 psychic damage.
I think I hear a gentleman requesting help with something. He's just gonna very quickly turn around and leave you to figure that one out.
Cool.
Out of his wheelhouse.
So you guys sail.
I'm so glad I asked that stupid seaweed question.
I think I do want to have this conversation with somebody, and REG's not talking to Ari yet, so
sure.
REG's gonna talk to Lexi.
Okay.
Okay.
What's up, big man?
RG on like whatever railing he can get on, like sits crisscross. It's like, so the offer the Warlords made to us about retiring after the mission.
Yeah.
You're taking it, right, Lexi?
You sound like Winnie. She put you up to this?
No, it's just... It's probably fun being, you know, the hometown boy war hero, right?
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, it's not really my thing, but it's I don't hate it.
Well, and this is just my opinion, it's kind of a crock of shit, and if you stay in that position, it would be really unwise.
Argy, you know, you've always been so honest. I love it. Hey, trust me, I get it from Winnie all the time. I don't think I could turn it down if I wanted to. I think I would have some hefty debt to pay from Mother Nature as my soul passed on. One way or another.
Well, then, like, what do you want, man? I mean, like, seems like you kind of know staying in the Maximus is a bit of a dead end, but what do you want on the outside?
I mean, just between me and you, me and Winnie are kind of a thing.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Kind of been a thing for a while now.
Wow.
And so, I don't know, I suppose just move in together would be cool. Not risk our life every day. Just take it from there.
Yeah. Get a vocation. You seem like a vocation guy.
For sure,
Like
for
you-
sure.
Do stuff.
Yeah. So I think that'd be cool. And then, you know, I guess spend time talking about how great the Maximus is, which I do think it is great. I think I would have never met any of you guys if I didn't join, and we're doing some good stuff here, so it's a win-win for me.
Okay, but like it's not that great, is it? Off the record. Because like that's not a great thing for my career to say, but like, I mean, come on. They've sent us to our sure deaths multiple times. They placed a very dangerous criminal with us, one who happened to be a decent dude, but still, they kind of put into that mandatory servitude type of deal. And
Hey,
is there no, like, cynicism or, like, suspicion of the institution at all? You've been here for a couple years.
no. Hey man, listen, I did not like Jeremiah joining the squad either. That really shook me up. But like you said, he kind of turned out to be pretty all right. And you know, he's passed on. His soul is now with the mother, and hopefully has just as righteous of a spirit in some wildflower field somewhere or something. And you know, I have nothing but well, obviously there's some trauma involved, but I wouldn't want to go through it with anybody else. And I am happy to have met all of you. And that is priceless to me. So yeah, I like the Maximus. I think it's great.
One last thing to get out of your hair.
Yeah, sure.
What and who made you want to join the Maximus?
Wow, deep questions here, but I guess I'm not doing anything else. I guess just society. You know, I was a stone's throw away from Thalm that got destroyed. I knew people in Thalm. I competed in boomerang competitions with people in Thalm. And I was right up there. My aunt and uncle were the deadly Delanos, you know? The defenders of Kragora. Just I had a lot of good role models and a lot of personal stakes in the game. And it felt like it was the right thing to do, you know? Didn't really ever think twice about it. I know you seem like a guy that thinks twice or maybe 3 or 4 times about everything, but...
Well, not about breaking and entering, but most other times, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it seemed like a good idea to me, but what do I know?
That's not high praise, Lexi.
What does that mean, dude? What does that mean?
Well, are you the no, I don't want to be bitchy.
Wow. I'm going to crash this boat. I'm going to crash this boat right now.
Yeah? RG looks around. On what land?
We'll find it.
All right, man. I won't begrudge you as a guy at peace. A guy at peace.
All right.
Guess I just envy it a little bit.
Hey, go check on Winnie for me. It looks like she's having some kind of mental break. I saw her dropping flowers in the ocean.
Oh.
I'm guessing that didn't go well.
No. Okay, yeah, and Bane is leaving at a great something very bad happened. Okay, let's see what's going on.
Thank you for that. And cool. We've done a lot of our roleplay stuff. We are sailing through the Sanguine Sea. I would say very quickly, probably within the first night, the whimsy of travel goes away. Sleeping in the hay with the horses will do that to you. We're in the second night of sailing, entering into the third day. So you are close, but you got a ways to go. It is a dark and stormy night. Because of course it is. As you approach, I'm sure it's not an omen at all.
We're not going to get to do my thing, I fear. I feel like things are about to go so off the rails.
I'm saving us from whatever that was with rats. Anyways, it's a dark and stormy night. The sails are ripping in the wind. Not actually ripping, but, you know, whipping in the wind is probably the phrase I should use. And, you know, Lexi's like steering. He's drenched in fucking water. I don't know what other people are doing. It is the middle of the night. Yeah, where is everybody right now?
If we're sailing more in the night, like Bane is going to be up wherever it's sailing, because he obviously wants to be alert during the most danger. So he's probably up. I don't know if we have like a crow's nest in this ship, but he's up on the top deck keeping. No, he doesn't have to be all the way out there, but he's up on the top deck keeping a lookout as Lexi steers.
Anybody else? Where are we at? Are we sleeping? Are we awake?
I don't think RG is taken to sea travel super well. He's probably awake anyway.
Got it.
And knowing there's rough waters probably is above deck, seeing what he can do. He can climb. He can do the ropes and the sails and the whatnot.
For sure.
Winnie is experiencing the horrors after sending the flower to it's just like never-ending death in the dark.
Yeah, torrential downpour, treacherous waters, really rough, big waves, constant, like, water is getting splashed all the way up onto the top deck. At a certain point, you know, some of your rations fucking fall overboard.
Oh.
It's, like, really rough waters. Lexi's handling it well. This has been going on for hours. But he's handling it well. Until a certain point where Lexi is sailing and suddenly very loud, very prominent, and everyone needs to make me a dexterity saving throw.
I was worried this was going to happen. I was like, surely not, but I fear I know what's happening.
I have not rolled over a freaking 8 on the die in this whole time. The last almost 3 hours, not rolled in double digits.
Devastating.
I got a 16.
I also got a 16.
16.
Sea legs.
Winnie?
I got a 4.
All right.
Something hits the ship, and Winnie's just like, this is karma for my horrors.
Winnie, Splat, and Vera all lose their footing and collapse onto the top deck as the ship very obviously scrapes hard against something. And Lexi kind of shouts out, somebody want to check on that? That did not sound good.
I'm gonna rush over to the side of the ship where that felt like it was coming from, and I canonically have lights in the crystals embedded in my bow for an ability. So I take my bow and I use it like a flashlight to see what the fuck that was.
Give me a perception.
All right. Let me do my double perception thanks to Amphis. Amphis got a nat 20. My snake caught that danger immediately. I got much worse, but snake alarm system
Amphis
going off
got a nat
here.
20. You see a shadowy figure of something swim away. And you can tell
shit.
the ship is badly damaged. You might need to go below deck and figure that out.
Yeah, that's real bad. Since Amphis has something of an eye on it, I'm immediately gonna sort of deploy Amphis to sort of just like slither around the perimeter, try to keep an eye on it if it comes back, and then I'm gonna go below decks to check that damage.
Cool. You go below
We have,
decks.
an alarm system up there.
Give me an investigation.
It's my investigation. It's practically +6. That's not great. That's a 12.
Okay. Well, thankfully part of this is really easy because as you step below
Holy
deck, you
shit.
step in water.
Yep. Don't need
And
an investigation check for that.
you eventually like find the hole. Big hole. I don't think you could fix that in the water. I think you might need to beach.
How far are we from beach?
If you told Lexi now, you could be at the shore relatively quickly, but some people might need to run pails and pail out the water as you go.
Lexi!
Yeah!
Beach! Beach!
All right.
Land!
That bad, you got it! And he starts whipping it around in this torrential downpour. Nothing else comes about. You don't run into any more things. Eventually, the ship is beached. Not fully, obviously, you like pull up and but you can, if you all get out onto the beach, yeah, it's bad. It's a big hole. That's a big fucking hole. And I would say you're still probably about where's my measurement tool for the map? If you're looking at the Sanguine Sea, it's got like this top bit that's like shaped like this, and you were coming up this way and gonna come around. You did not make it here. Okay, you're more like here, kind of in between that ruined city and the actual top.
I admittedly don't have the exact map pulled up. Are we, for Nathan or anyone who does, are we in Atraria still?
You are in Atraria.
Or are we still in the... Okay, we are in Atraria.
Yeah.
I do have a question, though. We are in the sea. We are in giant waters.
Yeah.
Is there giant kelp in the water?
Sure.
Like, I don't know.
We did have a discussion about this.
Could I ask my the flower in the sea to beg the giant kelp to grow?
Okay, let's rewind before we do this. We beach the boat. Lexi takes a look at the damage and goes, fuck, that's not good. Okay. I can fix this, I just need the stuff. I need, like, tree sap, the biggest leaves you can find, bark. I can get this thing back and running again, but it's gonna take probably all night. And
What we gotta do.
when you guys... forgive me for asking such specifics, but I assume everybody gets off the boat.
I mean, it's sinking. So probably.
And so then I also assume you take the horses?
I was going to say Baina's first priority when we land the boat is just in case anything goes drastically wrong or we have to bail, get all the supplies off the boat and load as much as we can onto the horses in case we need to book it.
Got it. Sure. So that's what happens. That's what Lexi says. Winnie.
Hey, if we can't...
Give me a nature check.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to fix the boat with the kelp.
Give me a nature check.
I can roll over an 8. That's possible
It's
for me.
possible.
Point-sided die.
Channel the whimsy.
Whimsy.
Jesus Christ! Okay, well, it's still over a freaking 8. Not by a lot, but it's over an 8.
I hear 9.
Nature, that's a 16.
16.
Oh, that's much better.
Pretty good.
I mean, you communicate with your flower somewhere off in the distance, and you ask it to try to convince it to make the kelp grow. The flower's like, okay, let me go talk to him. And then a few moments later goes, I don't know if I should say what they told me.
Oh.
But I can if you want me to.
No? They said no?
They said, what the fuck do you think we're doing?
Okay, you
Really
don't
mean.
suppose you could be like, hey, there's an emergency, we need kelp for the ship that's sinking, and it's a big deal, no?
I mean, I can go back and ask again if you really want me to.
You know what? Just try to make friends out there, all right? Just try to make friends.
Okay, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
You sound really far away. Are you coming back?
So, you know, when little flowers get really big, they have to make their own journeys where they make new friends and have new experiences. And that's what you gotta do. You're all grown up.
Really?
Congratulations. Yeah.
Wow. I'm all grown up.
Yep.
Man, flowers have to make their own journeys is one of the most beautiful sounding lies I've ever heard anyone tell.
Well, okay, I guess I'll start my journey. Thanks.
Yeah, make friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll see. I'll see what's around. Hello, Muck. Hello, more Muck.
I end the call. I try to hang up. Hang up.
You cut off.
This is the most traumatizing shit Winnie's ever experienced, and one of her teammates died in a previous mission.
Cool. So, Lexi's like, yeah, that's what we need. Break? I don't know if I'm the one to give the order.
Real quick before we split off and start getting supplies to try and fix this thing, Bane is gonna rally everybody together since we are in Atraria proper now, which is very bad. This is also, I guess I should sort of check this with everybody. This is everyone's first time in Atraria, right?
Oh,
I cannot imagine.
It's not a vacation spot.
Yeah, I was pretty sure. So Bane is going to rally everybody together. Just sort of like the squad meeting. All right. I had hoped to have this discussion preemptively before we landed, but we are technically in enemy territory already, so I believe we have to have it now. You all saw the rats fleeing from the ship crash when we landed, yes?
Yeah.
What do we think of those rats?
Not much.
Yeah, pretty gross.
Right.
Oh, wait, are you... They're small. We're small. We'll pass in the night as they did.
You're getting
kind of thing.
Near to where I was thinking, Argentum, yes. The way that we look at those rats is the way that every resident of this nation has been conditioned to see us. From this moment on, we have to assume that any giant we see, be they man, woman, or as we have experienced personally, child, will kill us like vermin the second they are given an opportunity to do so. As you watch those rats flee, know that if things go wrong, we may be forced into a situation where we have to act just like them. Let's try our best not to have that happen, but everyone be on your guard, because from here on out, there will be no allies until we return.
My interpretation was a little more optimistic, but...
I told you guys I was going somewhere with the rat thing. It wasn't just some creepy experiment. You guys didn't have faith in me.
Are there rats on this ship?
The rats were an analogy for us. Maybe not great, but it's true enough.
We're the rats.
We are the rats. And I'm the giant rat that makes all the rules. All right, let's go fix the ship.
Let's go fix the ship. Lexi... I mean, he's already examined the ship, I guess. I was going to say he keeps examining it, but it's pretty obvious. There's a hole. So you all need to fucking go find some fucking supplies to fix this shit. You are like on a beach, and then it is immediately thick jungle forest. There is not much beach. It's not like just, like you're not in a field, you're not whatever. It's just like beach, maybe for like 30 feet or something like that. Thick jungle forest, can't see through it. Yeah. I mean, fucking get looking, I guess.
Can I make a nature check to gather the supplies Lexi said he needed for fixing the ship?
Sure. And Lexi will join you.
And I will be using my ability Wild Sight to see if there are any Atrarians anywhere close to us.
What's the range on that bad boy?
You didn't give me one.
Damn.
So, infinite.
Yeah. No.
I literally wrote down everything you said word for word, and it did not say a 1 mile radius, a 10-mile radius.
Great.
I see we're using
say a range.
I see we're using the there's no price sticker on it. I guess that means it's free type logic.
Within a 1 mile radius,
Absolutely.
it says.
Where does it say that?
Doing this, you can interpret physical sensations through other plants in the ecosystem within a 1 mile radius. I knew I was smarter than that to give you that.
Within a mile radius,
Sure.
is there an Atrarian nearby?
No.
All right, all clear for at least a mile.
For at least a mile, all clear. You guys go
How
sifting
fast
around.
can they run?
Probably faster than you'd like. Nature checks.
I
got
could
an
do a
8.
nature check. I have good nature.
People are
Functional
looking for
plus
stuff.
9.
I'm gonna be pissed if I roll a nat 20 on this. I just would like to roll better today. No, what do you think that fucking was in the die?
I was muted.
And
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh! You rolled
Bana's
a nat
helping
20.
this time.
And the Cazilor
I haven't
dice are
done
going
shit all episode.
on
Now
the
I'm
shelf.
gonna be
On the
a
shelf.
helpful boy.
What was it on the die?
It was an 8!
Oh, damn!
Cool.
My third 8.
Bana rolled a nat 20.
It's a 29 if we want to use bonus. Well, 26. I won't use an ability on that.
This might seem scary, but I will also need stealth checks.
Great. That's notably less. It's not horrible.
Might seem scary. Don't worry.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
16.
Why is that worse? It's a 9.
Oh, and also, I don't know if this matters,
Damn.
but just functionally, for like what it's worth, I do also ignore difficult terrain
Yeah.
if that matters for anything. You said it was thick jungle.
Splat got on that one. Love that for him. Dirty 20. What were the other checks?
9.
I got a
9.
I'd like to
15.
think
I was mistaken.
Splat trips and then knocks me over.
Okay. Cool. Bana, you find literally everything you need. You find tree sap, bark in the shape of a ship's hull. You find fucking
Awesome.
sticks that are somehow already kind of in the shapes of nails. Maybe they were chewed on by
Bararian
something.
boat tree, which contains every ingredient for boat.
Yeah, exactly. You find everything
I
that
mean, it tracks. I'm canonizing it now. Bana builds model ships in his spare time and puts them in bottles.
you find everything that you need. As you all come back out onto the beach, you are met with something not ideal. Did anybody stay behind? Because I don't think you said anybody did.
Well, the wild,
I mean, Bana
my wild
definitely
thing would
did, like
tell.
Nat 20, like he was going. So
You are met with something.
Yeah, if we're within a mile of the shore. When
If you're checking your ecosystem stuff,
Yeah.
I would argue that the
Yeah.
ecosystem of the forest is different than the ecosystem of the sea.
Oh, the sea. No, I guess it wouldn't tell me. Would it
Oh.
tell me?
it's
Yeah.
a reasonable enough boundary that I guess
Yeah.
it wouldn't.
Because
yeah.
as you guys come out of the tree line, your ship is being hounded with Cragalots.
Oh no.
What?
These are giant
Oh
crabs.
no.
Oh.
They are picking apart your horses,
Oh.
and they are now fixated on you. And I will need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh no!
I was about to say, we're about to eat so good
I
tonight.
know
We're about to
exactly-
eat
okay.
So good.
Can I?
No, not
I
yet.
know what these are.
I know you do.
I was
Nope.
gonna say, can I roll
No tidbits yet. Roll initiative.
All
do I
right,
get
that's the best
anything
I've
from
rolled.
Dirty
second
20
today.
stealth? Oh, nat 1. I got the 20s when it didn't fucking matter at all. I guess I'm probably hidden.
The stealth check was for something else, by the way. This
What?
Yeah. It was not for the
We're
crowd.
fucked.
Sorry. Okay. Bana, you got a nat 1?
No. I didn't say that. I said I got a 37.
Okay. Mike?
I got an 8.
An 8 for RG. Winnie, what'd you get?
19.
19. Very nice. Ari got a dirty 20. Vera got a 13.
I'm
And
reeling
Lexi got
that
a
you
16.
put Krylos in this campaign.
Yep.
I
If everybody could boot up roll 20 for me. We are on the beach in Atraria. You have the attention of 3, count them, 1, 2, 3, Cragaloths. These are classified as Leviathan creatures. They are big crabs. There are others around. The ship is crawling with them, but these three have their attention on you. Also, notably, for all of our viewers, these are not adversity level creatures. This is our first non-adversity level combat here.
And the stat blocks are in the source book, by the way.
And the stat blocks are in the source book,
If you think this fight is
by
fun
the
and you want
way.
to terrorize your own players, they're in the book.
First up is Ari. She is going to kind of pivot and just start firing. Anchoring shots, for what it's worth. First one is a hit. Second one is also a hit. So this crab now has to make dexterity saving throws or become restrained, which it fails. So this blue one is immediately restrained and does 6 damage to the blue crab. She's also going to bonus action, use her gift, Induce Fear, spends its use, and the crab does not have to make a save because it is immune to being charmed and frightened. I'm actually reading the stat block now and it doesn't say frightened, but it's supposed to. So it's immune to being charmed and frightened. That's another update for the source book. And so that does not work. She runs up, her horns glow. She tries to induce fear on this thing, and it is restrained, but it just kind of fucking wrangles around. Doesn't look like it's trying to get closer still. That is Ari's turn. Winnie, you are up next.
Okay, since that one's already restrained, I think I'm gonna try to take a couple shots on it. What do I know about, what did you call these things again?
Kragaloths.
Kragaloths. What do I know about them?
Give me a nature check.
That's an 18.
18, extremely intelligent. Smart cookies. 18 is a really good roll. They have psychic capabilities.
Yeah.
They can attack you in your mind.
Don't like that.
I don't know how we got. Did the book I read about this tell us how to avoid that shit, or they're just like, it's gonna suck, bro?
I mean, they recommend you don't look them in the eyes, but it's inconclusive on if that actually helps or not.
Well, I'm gonna try to take a shot at their eyeballs. Hopefully that means something. Did for Victoria Newman, R.I.P. my queen.
If you're gonna take a shot at the, if you're gonna take a shot at the eyes, I'll say that specific target will give you disadvantage, but you have advantage because it's restrained, so it's a flat roll.
Okay, that's a 19 on the die, plus how much to hit, plus...
That'll hit.
Oh my god,
You don't
I
gotta do the
lost
math.
all my
That will hit.
Yay!
That will hit. You hit it in
that's
one
a
of its
+7 to
eyes.
hit. Yeah, that's gonna hit.
One of the eyes.
Okay.
Right in there. And it wriggles and screeches in something horrendous. Sea crab.
Okay,
sea
I'm gonna
spider.
take my second shot with my longbow. That's gonna be a 19 to hit.
19 to hit. Are you going for the other eye?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Yeah, that hits. Hits him in the other eye. Does not like that.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage for those, by the way.
That's 4 for the first one, and then 10 for the second one.
4 for the first, 10 for the second, for 14 total damage. Cool. Moving
Yes,
swiftly.
and I'm going to
Oh, do you have a bonus action?
move.
And movement, yes.
A move. I don't think I think my watchful aid's obviously gonna go to Lexi. I'm gonna be like, Lexi, remember you are ranged now with your boomerang. Good luck.
Oh, yeah. I'll back up then.
I'm gonna just sit myself right next to Vera.
Oh, and please do not forget that it is stark and stormy and torrential downpour. Just for thematics. Is that your whole turn? Bonus action watch for Lady Lexi. Movement. Cool.
That is my turn.
It is now the crab's turn. Kicking things off hot. RG, I'm gonna need a DC 18 intelligence saving throw. Lexi is gonna have to also make me a DC 18 intelligence saving throw. And that's it. That's it. The blue crab, at the least right now, seems too distracted with the painful eyes to do whatever this is. Go ahead and give me that intelligence saving throw, and I'll give Lexi's.
I'm going to say before I make my roll that my intelligence save is +6.
Okay.
So I have a decent chance.
So you just need to get a 12.
Please, Archie, please.
I hope for you that you pass this.
That's what it was on the die.
Oh,
It was a 2, for a total of 8.
Amazing.
of
those
all
listening at
people
home.
to get this.
Okay, so Lexi also fails.
Oh, Christ.
RG, here's what happens. You are preparing to fight, and you stare this beast dead in the eyes. And it stares back. And you can tell it's intelligent. And suddenly, you black out. And then everything's really bright. Ugh. It's a sunny day. You're at like a cabin. Your best friend is right beside you. His name is Brett. He goes, dude, you still with us? Come on. We're gonna pick these flowers. We're gonna get you that date, man.
I'm sorry. What?
We flash forward. You're older now. You're with a girl. And she's looking at you with loving eyes. Her name is Tracy. And she's cuddling you. And you're watching as the migration is happening above you. And you see flying fish fly in the sky, creating little lightning and storm clouds. And she turns to you and she says, you know, Jeff, I think I love you. You get older. You have 3 kids. You're in a humble home. Kids are running around the room. You're making breakfast. You're living a good life. You get even older. Your bones hurt. Your skin is wrinkly. Your kids now have grandkids, and they're all at your bedside, telling you how much they love you. And as you close your eyes one last time, you are ripped back into reality. You hear screaming of your squad mates, and you cannot move. You have the stun condition.
Fuck me.
Um,
No.
You see why I have been losing my goddamn mind for the last 10 to 15 minutes?
You also take 25 psychic damage.
Whoa, that's
You
not something
see
I can uncanny
why I've
dodge,
been
is
losing
it?
my mind for the last 10 to 15 minutes?
And Lexi is also stunned and, you know, probably experienced something similar. So both of you, for the record, the stunned condition, a stunned creature is incapacitated, cannot move, and can speak only falteringly. The creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls against the creature have advantage. It is still the crab's turn.
Cool.
This crab is going to run up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Has a 10-foot reach and is going to make a pincer attack on you with advantage. That was almost an at-20, but it was not. But a 22 is still going to hit. You automatically fail on the checks because you are stunned, and you are now grappled by the crab.
Oh.
And you take
This
12.
may be a book it situation, Headliner Squad.
You take 12 piercing damage.
Can I uncanny dodge?
You cannot move. You cannot
This-
uncannily do anything.
The captain's
have
recommendation is get RG and get the fuck out because there's 3 of these motherfuckers.
It is now the red
and
one.
more at the boat.
The red one is going to run up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Do the same thing to Lexi. Go to make a pincer attack. That's definitely going to hit. Automatically fails, is grappled, and takes 12 piercing damage.
He failed his initial save with the Watchful Aid too?
He rolled... I did forget he had a watchful aid. Let me try to remember what he rolled. Hold on. He rolled really bad. He has a +0. I think he got like a 9. +0 is 9. So I can roll a watchful aid because it's possible.
It's possible. He could get a 10. He could get a 10.
He actually needs a
it
9 or a
10?
10. 9 or a 10 to get 18.
And, well, we'll see what happens here.
6.
I'm going to flash your genius +3. I can do that on allied saving throws if they're within 30 feet of me.
on any saving throw?
I will double check the ability text, but I believe so. Yeah. When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or a saving throw, I can use my reaction, which I have not yet used, to add +3.
This ability pisses me off, man. Just let me
I
kill
love
you.
Flash of Genius.
Just let me
it's
kill
incredibly
you, dude.
good.
This shit.
It's incredibly
You
good.
saved Splat. You're saving Lexi. Let me fucking kill you. Is that too much to ask?
It's Baina's whole thing is watching the battlefield and saving his allies in crisis situations. It is a thematic ability, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Cool. So he doesn't take the 25 psychic damage. He doesn't go down. He still takes the pincer damage and has to make a strength check to not be grappled.
Okay.
But he did use the Watchful Aid already.
Winnie, little through the call fist bump, team up saving Lexi.
Okay.
Still grappled.
Okay, so that's his turn.
It is now the blue crab's turn. The blue crab is going to, I believe it has to make a, God, I gotta go to the fucking anchoring abilities for when you're not fighting giants for this. If you perform this attack action on a creature without an adversity level, to make a dexterity saving throw or become restrained, and then you have to make a DC to break it. Sure. All right. Passes. So that has broken free from the restrained condition. I believe that kind of stuff takes an action, if I'm keeping myself honest. And that if that's the case, this thing only has movement, and we'll use it to move in 5, 10, 15, 20. And that is that. It is now Lexi's turn.
Gotta get out of there.
I believe this a grapple check is opposed. So he's going to try to break free. What the fuck? 2 nat 1s for both of them. So I guess it's down to who is stronger. And to the surprise of no one, it's the crab. So he is still grappled.
Crab or human boy, which has more crushing
2
power?
nat 1s is crazy.
Lexi's got that country strength.
and then is immediately caught.
Yeah. Okay. That is Lexi's turn. He gives a bonus action Watchful Aid to Winnie, but he can't really do anything. He's grappled. It is now Vera's turn. Vera is going to back the fuck up and fire. She's back at range because, you know, that's what she's normally used to. That's a nat 20. And she's firing at the one that has RG.
There's been a crazy range of rolls in this whole scene.
What'd you say? Oh, no, it's not anchoring. It's just a regular bow and arrow. Just going to make another roll. Okay, both of those are going to hit. And so this is going to be, I believe it's 3d8 plus 9. 12, 14 plus 9, 23 damage to the green crab. All right, and that is Vera's turn. I believe it is now RG's turn. RG, you are grappled.
I am grappled. I am under the psychic influence of a crab.
And you are stunned. So yeah, just your whole turn, give me DC 18 intelligence saving throw to try and not be stunned anymore.
Okay.
That's all you can do.
Oh. This is your last fucking chance. You understand? That's a... no, that's a 15. Fuck.
15. Flash of Genius, Baina? Hate to remind you, but is that another thing you can do? He's 3 away.
No, I used one on the stealth check, and I used one to investigate the ship, because I was hoping it would be fixable. So unfortunately, I'm tapped out on those.
Got it. So you are still stunned.
I could have tried to sneak another one in there, but I'm going to operate with integrity and not.
I'm 8 health.
Say it, but...
8 health.
I am so very close to dying to this crab.
All right. That is your turn, unfortunately. Sorry about that, RG. Baina, you're up for the first time.
See, I do know roughly what these things do outside of Baina's character, because I worked on the book. I will say, I have genuinely no idea how much health they have. I do not remember that, even though I have seen it, so... Oh boy. Like, genuinely, I'm thinking I kind of want to bail, but unfortunately we do also have 2 people grappled. First things first, I don't want to be in front. I mean, I don't ideally want anyone to be in front, but I especially don't want to be in front, because I'm a ranged guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4... Don't have horses. 5, 6. Just get the hell out of there. I could maybe do something kind of neat here.
Let's do neat stuff.
If I shoot a Tanglethorn, these things are big. I can, with the way they're positioned, I can definitely get a Tangle Thorn, like roughly here, where it can entangle their back legs, but leave their like front claws open so that it doesn't impede RG and Lexi's hopeful escape.
Sure.
So that's what I'm gonna lead with. I'm gonna Tangle Thorn, like, you know, I'll let you draw the circle, but
Okay.
where roughly back in this area where I can get the sort of back legs of these crabs entangled. I believe I don't have to do an attack roll for that. It's just one of my attacks.
Yeah, it is just one of your
It's
attacks.
a save on their part.
Cool. So they need to make a dex save, I believe, right?
I believe it is a dex save of, at my level, 17.
DC 17.
It's strength save to break it, but dex save originally, I think. I'll double check that, but I think I'm right.
Okay. I believe you're right, too.
I'll double check it in the Masmus Guide to Killing Giants, available now.
Well, the green one fails,
That's a good start.
and the red one fails. So they are both
Okay,
restrained.
that's a good start. If we can get our buddies out of here, then they will not be chased. But that is, of course, only half the battle right now. Then I'm going to trying to think, like, if I have anything that can do a I'm really overthinking this because I'm terrified of these things.
Yeah, you should.
But I'm like, do I want to try and target the claw that's holding RG? But then I was like, you're a mean DM when you want to be in fights. If I shoot the claw, is it gonna pop open or is it gonna crunch? Like, I don't
who
know.
knows, man? I don't know.
I'm just gonna shoot the crab's body. They have been entangled. I have done something helpful. We're just gonna shoot the crab right in its hard-shelled body there. With that's almost certainly gonna hit. That's a 16, and I believe I have a +7 at the 23. And this is just
to try and hit.
I mean,
are you trying to hit
no
something
reason.
specific, or are you just firing?
Nah, just firing at the crab.
Cool, yeah,
And
23
I guess there's no reason not to make this an anchoring attack because it's just free for anchors, so I will do that. And it will do, let's see, 1d4 plus 8, not 1d4 plus 8, 1d4 plus 4. Max damage roll, so 12 damage. And let me remind myself of the rules on anchoring attacks.
It has to make a dex save, which it passed.
Non-adversity creatures, which it did. Okay, I mean, it's
Yeah.
that was a tangential thing. It's trapped by the thorns anyway. So 12 damage and Tangle Thorn. I'm happy enough with that. I am also going to relay to the team that my plan at the moment is, once we get our teammates out, let's at least back away and regroup, since there's a lot more. You said there's more of these on the boat, right?
There is more on the boat, yeah.
Yeah, so the plan is to, at the very least, back away and regroup before engaging like a small army of these,
For sure.
which I don't think anyone will object to.
As far as Splat goes, do you want him to like hop in right now, or would you rather him back away now, just because he's just the witch?
This is a question that I don't necessarily know the answer to. It would be, I guess what I would say to Splat is, like, how close can you get without putting yourself at risk of being grabbed? Because they are restrained, but like if he gets grabbed, that just makes everything worse.
I mean, it's gonna be pretty hard to get close to Archie without
that
also getting.
What I am
Lexi.
telling Splat is, do what you can, but don't put yourself at risk of being grabbed.
He
'cause
has
that is
no
just gonna make
ranged
things
attacks at all, so
My communication to him is that he gets to decide what
Got
he
it.
does from here.
don't put yourself at risk of getting grabbed is what you tell him. So that doesn't
I
leave him
know
with much to help.
he is willing to risk himself to save lives, but him getting trapped is
Okay,
bad.
he's gonna remain out of initiative order at the very least,
Yeah.
or maybe just in his own time back up even further to the tree line or something. Cool.
Amphis stay on me. So
Can everybody give me a perception check real quick?
what is it's
Maybe this will actually be like a really cool and beneficial thing for us.
Yeah,
that would be so great.
I hope it is, because I got a
Oh, I have Amphis.
6.
6.
Let me do Amphis's roll. 12 was the higher
12.
of the two.
I got an 18.
18. Okay. Ari's turn.
I don't like this.
Oh, nothing
Ari
like
is going
doing
to-
perception check and then moving on.
Ari is going to back up, get a little too close there, and fire twice at the blue one that is no longer restrained. First one's a nat 1. That's going to miss. Next one's a 4. Both misses. 2 misses.
Jesus.
She
really does crack under pressure.
She really does crack under pressure. Okay. Yep, that's her turn. Cool.
Oh, boy.
Winnie!
I'm going to try to upset the red one.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Lord, I eat so much crab. I literally eat so much crab. I literally know the mechanics of them. I know the resting position is closed claw. And it's already closed over something.
Yeah.
So if shooting its arm off should not close it anymore, that's not how physics work.
Right.
It can't suddenly get more strength if I shoot its arm off. It can't tighten. So I'm going to...
Metagaming through real-life love of seafood.
Real-life knowledge of crabs.
It has been established that Winnie and Lexi love to eat. So they have absolutely... They have not themselves.
It's true.
They have dreamed of eating it.
I'd love to eat Leviathan.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the chance of shooting at the mechanism that's the hinge of the claw, to shoot the claw off.
Okay, this is gonna be I'm not just gonna say like disadvantage or whatever, it's gonna be a higher, straight up a higher DC.
Okay, I'm gonna take the chance.
Okay. You do get
that
advantage.
One's not gonna do it.
You do get advantage because it's restrained. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. That's not even better. That's a 14 for the first one, but I get 2 attacks.
Yeah, 14's not gonna do it.
Why? Time out. All right, that's what I'm talking about. How about a 22?
22 will do it. Yeah, I set the DC to 20 in my head. So you shoot one of these things pincers, the one holding Lexi falls to the ground. Still right in front of the crab, but it's off.
Okay. If he can even like
I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
Action surge to get the other one. To hopefully get RG free. All right, that was. Thank God I had advantage. Why am I rolling like absolute dog shit right now? Roll good. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that is a 24.
24. You're trying to do the same thing to RG?
Yes.
I already set the DC to 20, so yeah, the one holding RG falls right in front of the crab.
Oh, hell yeah, Winnie. This is a kick-ass combo, actually. Bana restrains him, and then you shoot the claws off? That worked great!
Okay, I also, since I action surge, that was just my first attack for the RG one, so I'm going to shoot the blue crab. That's not going to hit. There's no way. That's 15. No, that one doesn't get it. But...
So, how many arms do these crabs have? You shot both of the red ones off?
No, I just shot the one.
Oh, right. Sorry.
The one's holding.
You shot one for each, so they both still have one remaining. Got it.
Right. I'm going to see what I can do with my bonus actions, since I've already... Oh, no, that was my bonus action. Second one was my bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay, then that is my turn. I'm going to... Oh, God. What am I going to do? Because I need to be close enough to help RG or Ari get away.
Do you have any weird, like, Battle Master fighter maneuvers that let people do, like, movements or something?
They take bonus actions to use. Oh, wait, no, they take no actions. Some of them take no actions.
Because if you can give a movement, there's an argument, and I guess this would be dependent on how much Nathan is willing to allow.
I mean, you'll probably have to do it for Lexi, because RG is stunned still.
Yeah.
So I forgot that maneuvering attack was a no action thing I can use. So when you hit with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to add the total damage roll and allow a creature that can see or hear you use its reaction to move half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks from your target.
Okay, the question is, will Nathan allow, like, the in-claw roll to get, like, 5 feet away from the restrained
I think
crab?
you guys are underestimating the size of this claw, for one. These are 15 by 15 by 15 foot crabs. So I don't think I'll be able to just roll away, but I will allow like a strength check to try to break out.
Okay. Take that.
Also roll damage for all of that, please.
Oh, you're totally right. I forgot.
While Lexi rolls this.
I have lost my D8.
Terrible
and
roll from
my
Lexi.
shit
Not
rolls.
enough. He is still stuck.
All right, that was full damage for Lexi's. I shot.
Did you
him
add a
once.
D8 for your maneuvering thing too?
Oh, I didn't. Okay. That
We're
is
putting so much effort into saving this man,
14
and he can't roll
plus-
well in return.
That's 16 damage on the red crab.
16 damage on the red crab.
That's 3. I think only 5 damage for the other crab. Yeah, I didn't roll super well on
green
the damage
crab?
roll for
Okay.
the other one. The green crab. I only hit him once, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It is now the crab's turn.
Don't break out! Don't break out! Don't break out! Don't break out!
Did you damage this blue crab at all, Winnie?
I did not, unfortunately. I tried. I missed both attacks.
So did Ari.
I am not looking at it, if that helps. I'm
Okay.
not looking at it.
You are the one that shot out its eyes.
I am. So it can try to see me. It can try.
I never thought about. Oh, never mind. I did. It has something here.
You said that so cheekily.
Yeah. Well, I looked at the stat block and it says condition immunities blinded. So
Motherfucker, what's the point? What's the
It's got
point of
eyes,
having
don't
eyes?
hey, man,
What's
I
the point of having eyes?
don't make the rules. I literally made it.
I take no responsibility for this stat block. I didn't touch this one.
Cool. So now you have beef with a crab, and it is going. I'm going to need a DC 18
perfect.
intelligence saving throw.
Beef
I
with the crab,
believe
that's
you
what
have
I
a
call
watchful
surf and
A
turf.
from Lexi.
We just made the exact
I
same
do. I forgot about that. I have watchful aid. So forget it. Just give me my alternate life. Give me my alternate life. That was a nat one.
Oh.
Wow.
My alternate life.
I mean, since you already kind of know what it's like, do you want to quickly narrate your alternate life? Just brief flashes of what it looks like. It can be anything.
Yeah, my alternate life is I'm sitting at a computer desk and I'm watching this whole thing play out. And I'm a tiny icon on the screen. And I see these little 2D things that are coming at me. And this 2D crab is picking me up in its arms. And I turn to my right and I see myself and then 3 other dudes that I've never met in person also on the screen staring back at me. And then blackness.
And you come back and you are stunned and take 25 psychic damage. This crab is now going to move in. 5, 10, 15, 20. Roll to hit with advantage. That will hit. You automatically fail. You are grappled.
God damn it.
So he moves 20 feet in, grabs you, and then...
I will say, would Ari's gift factor into resistance to this at all? Because she has a very similar power, seemingly.
Yeah.
There is an argument for that.
But yeah, this guy is gonna now start running away.
We sent the headliners nobly into enemy territory, and then they got killed by fucking crabs.
So that's the blue crab.
Yeah.
We're about to get Amelia Earharted.
I actually hope this is how it ends. It's just like, yeah, then that happened. Never heard from him again.
Get
Tales from
crabbed,
Cazilor.
idiot.
Get
I was
grabbed,
about
idiot.
to say, Tales from Cazilor episode 8, the party gets crabs.
Cool. It's now the green crab's turn. The green crab, now missing an arm, only has one. Will attempt to once again grab at RG with advantage because he is still restrained. That is going to hit, so you are now grabbed in a separate arm. The benefit is, I guess you would take damage from that, wouldn't you?
Not if the crab grabbed the arm instead of me. I mean, I'm already gripped by the arm. You know, why not just... You got a fun handle. Useful handle.
I'll be fair. 3D. I'll roll this damage instead of taking the average. You have 8 health?
Yeah.
Really low rolls. 1, 2, 7 plus 3.
Oh, god damn it.
Ow.
RG is
all right.
down.
Good night, everybody.
Also, Winnie, you took damage from that pincer attack as well.
Didn't I take that already? Oh no, I just took damage from the.
Even worse rolls, though. 7 damage for you.
I'm not looking hot though.
I don't think I've ever gone down from health depletion before. There's something very alarming about about the character sheet immediately switching to death saves from HP when you deplete it.
Yeah. That is that thing's turn. It is still restrained. It is now the red crab's turn. The red crab did recharge his ability and is going to pick a new victim. I guess it's going to try to pick the one that's trying to get away right in front of him.
Fun fact, chat. Nathan told me that he's had this monster concept idea in his head for a very long time, and I'm starting to believe that Tales from Cazilor in its entirety was just a setup so that he could kill a party with these monstrosities.
Lexi's going to have to make an intelligence saving throw. I don't think he has a watchful aid. Because when he used his bonus action,
you get a nat 20.
He needs to get an 18 or higher.
He totally could. He totally could get
Lexi,
that 20.
I need you to lock it in, man. I want you to live out of spite, because everyone thinks you're going to die. 14. Not going to do it. He lives an alternate life and takes 25 psychic damage and is stunned. Ooh, stunned, yellow dot. Stunned, yellow dot. Oh, this crab also has a pincer attack. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Save us, sanctuary people. Oh my fucking god, I know you're in the trees somewhere. I literally know you're in the trees.
That will hit. He'll take 12 piercing damage. He's not looking good. That is the crab's turn. Lexi is stunned. It's Lexi's turn. He's going to roll. Does not beat that save. RG, give me a death save, would you, buddy?
Giving the character die one more chance.
We're so good at fighting giants, and that is apparently the end of the positive things to say about our power.
Like, there's straight up both characters I would play are gonna be dead soon. I guess that's it.
The newest thing in the papers. Does Headliner Squad killed by crabs? Subtitle, maybe they weren't as cool as we thought. Oh
Mike,
god.
Not in that one. Not in that one.
I feel like that's the only thing that would get that reaction.
Wait, Mike. I am so sorry. I forgot something.
Don't pause.
Something that I put in place before the battle at Nunez Estate. When you first get grabbed, when you get grabbed by this crab for the second time, and you go down, surrounding you, a sudden burst and explosion of mushrooms. You feel in the back of your neck a mushroom sprout right at the base of your skull, and instead of falling to 0 HP, you are at 1.
Okay.
So go ahead and take your turn.
Feels mildly sinister, but let's go.
And that is not me copping out on this combat because it's too deadly. I had that plan for Nunez Estate, but he fucking was a demon at Nunez Estate, so he didn't need it. Through this traumatic experience, your first time ever going down was enough trauma to activate a deeper level to your gift. You have 1 HP.
That does make sense. But also, unless that resets my stun.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
Still not looking great.
Yeah, sure. It resets your stun.
Does that reset the stun?
Yeah, because you died and came back. We'll say it's magic of the wild.
I will say, I cannot imagine that this looks great to the party on the outside, because we know RG has mushroom powers, and if we see him get gripped by a claw and then just burst into spores, I feel like that looks like he just got exploded. Like, that probably doesn't look the most optimistic.
So you have 1 HP, and you have your whole turn.
All right.
I think we gotta sacrifice Su Young here because this is embarrassing.
Just everyone pick him up and chunk him out of crowd.
Throw him.
No one will know.
No one will know. He was eaten by
This is
crabs.
what a triage situation looks like.
Triage.
So I need to first roll to break the grip of the claw, right?
Correct. Opposed check.
What check is that again?
It's going to be opposed strength check, I believe is what grapple checks are.
Am I allowed to use athletics?
Sure. I don't know if that's actually how the rules are, but sure. You have to beat a 16.
I can't actually tell if that was a good or a bad. I think that was a.
Was that
I
good?
really
Was that a
can't
cheer?
tell.
17 on the die.
17 on the
Ooh,
die.
okay.
You are free. That is your action. You have your movement and your bonus
Cutting
action.
action dash, get the fuck out of dodge!
Amazing. I would actually
Cutting action disengage, movement,
yeah.
go get the fuck out of dodge.
Get the fuck out of dodge.
Bana, help.
Beta, help! Help, Beta!
Yep. Actually, if you're right next to me, just in case, I like reach out. Amphis slithers over to you, so you've got a little bit more defenses, just in case.
RG salutes you.
It's been a round, so that can be my reaction. If nothing else, you get a little defense there.
That is RG's turn. Bana, you're up.
Okay, yeah. So definitely, Amphis goes over to RG, just in case the crabs try to melee rush here. They are both still, as far as I can tell, restrained in the Tanglethorns. Yes.
Yes, they are.
I have not seen otherwise. Okay. Lexi is not grabbed actively.
He is
or did
grabbed
he get
actively,
re-grabbed?
yeah.
He got re-grabbed.
He got re-grabbed, but this one's missing an arm, so he can't make attacks anymore.
Okay.
While
So
holding
yeah,
on to
I
Lexi.
mean, next priority then is going to be trying to, because that one's escaping, right? The one that has
The
Winnie
blue one
trying
is
to
turned
leave.
and is heading back to the water.
Yeah, immediately. Well, I mean, maybe not. Okay, I'm going to step, so I'm not shooting through RG's skull, and then I'm going to immediately fire 2 anchoring shots at that
For
crab.
sure.
Actually, well, let's see how it plays out before I declare they're both going to be. We'll do 1 anchoring shot at first. Hold it off the table. That is a 16 on the die once again.
That will hit.
So that is going to hit. I'll do the damage, and we'll see if it passes the saving throw before I declare anything else. Okay, well, that time the damage was only a 1 on the die. That's still 5, because I have a nice enough bonus. But 5 damage and the restrain check.
Restrain check. Fails. Is restrained.
Ooh, not bad. Okay. This is a question for you, I guess. Mechanically, I would not know that this thing is immune to blinding,
Yeah.
except for the fact I did watch Winnie shoot its eyes out, and then it still moved with
It went
incredible
directly toward
dexterity.
me.
So yeah, I was about to say, I can probably intuit
Yeah.
that it didn't have eyes and still moved just fine.
I lost
so
my
yeah,
fucking eyes. Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and actually, that's a question that I don't really think we've discussed. Can you stack anchoring arrows on a non-adversity creature?
yeah, see,
We've
I was
never
thinking about
actually
that
thought
too.
about that. We need to figure something
We do
out
need
for
to
that,
figure
right?
something out for
Write that down. Because we've never thought about that. As it stands, at the very least, I'm gonna try the same thing that Winnie did. So I'm gonna move probably like over here is probably my best bet, and try to do the same thing where I shoot the base of the claw, because that worked when Winnie did it.
Yeah.
So that's a higher AC to try to get
Yep,
the claws
higher AC.
separated. I do have a plus 7.
The
to
blue
my
one still
hit.
has both its claws, right?
I believe so. Only
Yes.
Winnie is the one
Yeah.
who shot them off actively.
The green
So, yeah,
and
I'm
the
trying to
orange
do
one both have 1, but the blue one still has
Just
both.
1.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the. Also, I don't know. I'm just gonna note this for later. We might want to add this claw breaking thing to the thing stat block, because
Yeah,
this
maybe.
is cool, and I don't believe it's actually in the stat block, but I
No,
really
it's
like
not.
this as a strategy for fighting them. So I'm gonna push to get this official, but I'm gonna shoot the crab claw now.
Go ahead.
I rolled it off the table
with the
again.
advantage.
That's a 19 on the die.
19 on the die.
With advantage, we'll see if I get a 20. That was a 16 again. But 19. So yeah, 19 plus 7, that's a 26.
Yeah, that'll hit. I imagine you're going for the claw that has Winnie.
Yes, we're doing the same
And so
strategy. It's worked
Winnie
so far.
drops,
That was a 8
in front
damage.
of the crab.
Did you
Okay,
shoot off
so-
both claws?
No, I did an anchoring shot, so it's restrained,
Oh, gotcha.
and then I cracked the claw. So basically, all Bane has been doing this whole fight, which has worked very well, is restrain, break the claws. Like we're doing a combo here.
All crabs are restrained. All only have one claw. It is now Ari's turn. It seems killing these things might be hard.
I would at least call out to her, if not like shoot for the claws, if disarming them is working quite well.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a good point. She'll first shoot for the one that has Winnie, and with advantage. Oh, yeah. Second claw drops. This crab has no claws left. Blue crab is clawless.
Who came up with this idea first? That was
was Winnie.
Momo, right?
Yeah,
good,
that was Momo.
Good call, because that is saving our ass here.
I literally love crabs so much.
And I guess she'll shoot at the one that now is holding Lexi with advantage. Ooh, exactly 20. That'll do it. Lexi also drops. So 2 claws are now clawless, but still holding on to their once prey. 4 damage to the blue and 10 damage to the red.
Are either of them looking rough? Both of them have actually been like hit multiple times.
They look pretty unbothered.
God damn it.
Cool.
I'm sticking to disarm them and book it. That's what we gotta do.
That is Ari's turn. Winnie, you are stunned. Go ahead and give me a DC 18 intelligence saving throw.
I'll tell you this, Nathan. Every dice I have rolled today has genuinely fucked me multiple times. I don't have any more options. I'm out of dice. I just have to use these shitty dice. If either of them can, like, do me a solid and just roll a nat 20 and be good, I'd be very happy with that. That's a nat 20, I swear to God!
Oh my god!
It was the Cazilor dice! The Cazilor dice to be a
Cazilor
nat
dice.
20!
I was on your side all along. You are no longer stunned.
Oh, thank God.
You are still technically being grabbed by a claw, and it's just no longer attached to a crab. So,
Progress. That's progress.
Do I make another save to get out
give
of
me a
the claw,
give me
or
a
do I
strength
have
check to get out. That'll be, we'll say that costs you movement.
Yeah, okay. Ugh. That's a 17.
That'll do it. You are
Plus, yeah.
you are out. That is your action to come out of stun, your movement to come out of restrained, and you have a bonus action.
Bonus action, watchful aid to Lexi.
Okay.
I say it's all fake. Come back.
Lexi goes, well, he's still stunned, so he doesn't say fucking anything.
Motherfucker.
But it is the crab's turn next. Most of these crabs are restrained with no arms. So blue crab is just going to try to break free and will scuttle away.
Okay, thank God.
Winnie, you get an opportunity attack if you would like, but it's running away.
I'll take it.
Honestly, you
Don't
might
take it?
want to try to. Well, I'm thinking if the crab that's holding Lexi manages to get out and starts moving, you might want to save your reaction for that.
Okay, yeah, I'll save it.
Because if one's leaving, like, is it probably going to be fine? Yes, but like,
Hey, he's leaving.
Like,
man.
if this one was within my reach, I would have just grabbed my arrow and done my sentinel, which would have kept it here. But I don't actually want
Right.
that, so yeah, let it go away.
Okay. Red crab has one pincer, but sees that its friend is running away and is going to also try to run away. That's a nat 1. Is still restrained. Does the red crab have arms, or did it drop both of them?
one. I believe it has
Didn't
one.
Ari shoot off both?
No, Ari shot it off.
Did Ari shoot
Yeah.
off the
He has
second
no
one? Okay,
more
cool.
arms.
Ari shot off both. So it makes a strength save and fails, and it's just stuck there. Green crab also fails. I forgot. I need to roll a recharge on all of them.
I don't need hands to do psychic damage.
Nobody recharges. So that is the crab's turn. It is now Lexi's turn. He is stunned. DC 18. Intelligence save
watchful aid, my
and
man.
has a watchful aid. You shout to him, "It's not real!" And he's like, just like face petrified. That's a nat 20. And
Yes!
he comes out of the stun condition. That is his action. He's going to use his movement, bootleg ruling, to make a strength save to get out from The grasp. He's going to use his watchful aid. Dirty 20. He is free from the grasp. It is now RG's turn. If there's really nothing you want to do.
Yeah,
Do we just want to say that if everyone's free from the grasp of the crabs, that you're all just going to run for the forest?
I mean, how many are on the boat, roughly?
More than 3.
That was vague enough that I'm scared. Let's go to the forest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even want to see one more.
I do want to run to Ari and like grab one of her anchoring arrows and fire it at one of the closest claws and drag it with us.
Sure, you can just do that.
Want to bring a claw? All right. I mean, cool.
You can just do that.
We have to taste it.
You want to eat it, don't you?
We have to taste it. We have to.
In my brain, I was like, oh, are we going to make like a weapon out of it? No, you want food, which is fair. We don't have rations anymore.
You all run for the forest, abandoning your ship as it is overrun by the wild itself. And as your nerves begin to settle and you start to sort of gather yourselves, you notice something is off.
It's been off for a bit now. What else could happen?
Something is off. You guys don't know where Vera and Splat are.
Both.
Is Spud still with us?
That's a valid question. Okay. They don't have
That's not
magical.
good.
Don't know where
Tracks.
Vera and Splat are.
This happened on a beach. I'm gonna creep close to the edge of the tree line and see if I can see any tracks going off in a different direction than where we went.
Sure.
I think I can investigate at the tree line. The crabs were all retreating. As long as I don't like get too close to the boat, I want to check around. I don't know what that would. Probably an investigation check, but if I can swing it as nature, that is better.
Yeah, it's
for
probably
me.
a nature check.
Sweet. That is a 23.
23. No tracks.
None at
Okay.
all. That's almost worse. Because that means something suspicious is happening for certain.
Winnie has absolutely given Spud multiple of her flowers. She does like to keep in touch with him. And he is silent now. I can't communicate with him at all.
You hear Spud, and he's saying, Boss, where are you? Where are you, boss? And he sounds like he's deep in the forest. Huh?
Where are you?
I'm looking through the jungle for boss.
Do you smell him anywhere?
No.
Nowhere. He's just gone.
I was barking at the crabs. I turned around, he was gone.
Okay, well, come back to us, and then we will look for him together.
Okay. And eventually, Spud does show up. And that is where we will end this episode
Oh, jeez.
of Tales from Cazilor, the Golden Era, episode 8. Be sure to tune in next week to find out where Vera and Splat went without a trace.
Tales from Cazilor, episode 8, Crab Wrecked.
All right, thank you for watching. Hey, go get the Tales from Cazilor source book. Go pay for the Patreon to get access to the Discord and the after show. We're about to go record that right now. If anything, silver linings, we're about to have an amazing meal. So we will see you next
And nobody
week.
died. We were wearing all black and nobody died.
We're wearing all black and nobody died.
Fucking whimsy!
Whimsy!
Look, all jokes aside, we actually did kick ass in that fight. We did.
You did.
That turned out pretty good.
All right. See you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you all.